Protector stands tall while my enemies fall. Psalm 118:7. The Lord takes my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. Psalm 91:8. Thou shalt only look on with thine eyes and see the reward of the wicked. Luke 10:19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall be any means hurt you. Psalm 143. They only consult to doom him evil unto the just and the innocent man that is at peace. They stir up to bite with their tongues with God's insight. I see the snake before it strikes. That's why they hate me. For God gave me the shield of discernment to protect me from their evil plans and the insights to recognize the wicked and the power to destroy them. As a collector of information, I'm a collector of information. My repository of knowledge, where every piece of data is carefully preserved, often with the sense of foresight that what seems insignificant now may hold great importance later. I have a keen eye for detail, and my ability to recall these receipts is uncanny, often surprising others with my precise memory. My collection is vast, a treasure trove of insights and facts, and I wield this knowledge with precision, using it to expose the truth and bring light to darkness. My motto seems to be collect now, utilize later, and with this approach I become a master of information, a keeper of secrets, and a bringer of truth. The dark empath destroyer, that's what I'm known as. I understand the patterns of dark entities, those who dwell on the dark side, feeding on chaos and destruction. They're masters of manipulation, glorifying you with false praise to lure you in, only to tear you down when you discover their true nature. These narcissistic demons operate pretending to be righteous while secretly they study their targets, building armies of trolls to attack from all sides. Even when blocked or rejected, they'll find ways to start trouble, seek to witness your downfall. But not one fall. I'm a collector of information, to expose their sins. I see through their dark, wicked ways. And I'm ready to take them. I become a master of information, a keeper of secrets, and a bringer of truth. The darkness may try to hide, but I'll shine a light, exposing their true nature for all to see. This message is to the person I blocked. This will be the last message, the last cause that you read. I advise you to get a job. Go and put in time at a career center or a workshop. Get a job. This is good advice because you're wicked. You're dwelling too much in the dark side. Come to the light, get a job. Stop the ball, stalk the manager, and be great at your job and position. Offer service for the stalkers who are doing the same thing you are. Send them down the hill. Matter of fact, offer them the same effort that you're getting up to. Go look for a job. Give it to your trolls so they can actually be beneficial from any service that you provide after you stalk me. Stalk the motherfucking manager. Stalk the boss, okay?
All right. Once again, putting it down for you and yours. This is another episode of The Lion's Den, the segment titled The Conversation Continues. And you're listening to original music by The Seventh Answer, Lady Karima. Collect now and utilize later with approach is the title. And you're also listening to your brother in faith and friend, Brother Malachi, aka Dark Storm. And of course, again, like I said, the seventh Answer, Lady Karima. is the engineer that's making it possible for everything that you're now listening to as we now embark upon yet another smooth, but yet hardcore and edgy truthality listening experience or experiment. Take your pick. Here on the Lion's Den, the conversation continues talking about what's on your mind. And as always, we give all honor and praise to the Lord in Christ, from whom all, and I mean all, positive thoughts flow. And we want to thank you for allowing us to come into your mind, soul, and cipher, and you learning something you just might. So, as you know, always, we now rock out on the three building blocks which makes this machine run from a biblical standpoint without giving you a sermon, and that is Isaiah the 41st chapter, verses 21 through 24, which tells us to be ready at all times to produce our cause, bring forth our strong evidence, okay, on all issues that are going to be discussed, past, present, or future. We also rock out on 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, verse 21, which tells us to be ready, willing, and able at all times to prove everything that we say, holding fast to that which is good. And of course, as we are strong advocates and proponents of freedom of speech, but responsible speech, that's because the number one rule, law, and ethic that governs the right and the freedom to speak is to think before you speak, which of course, from the biblical standpoint, is chronicled in the book of Proverbs, the 13th chapter at verse 3, which tells us, he or that she that keepeth their mouth, keepeth their life. What the good Lord is saying is, look, before you go rattling off anything out your pie hole, you better give it strong and careful consideration before you articulate whatever you have on your mind in any conversation as it continues. Think before you speak. See, here in this society, I know that this freedom of speech has gotten way misconstrued. Where some people believe that you can just say whatever you want to say without there being any consequences or repercussions. And that's just not reality. See, think before you speak. Freedom of speech, but think. Because there is that notion known as the abuse of speech. You know, if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong soul, it might get you hurt. You might write that check. How I go, yeah, don't let your mouth write a check your Abakatuski can't cash. And so as we move on, and I think you get the point, we also run on now the 8 I's. And that is ingenuity, intelligence, integrity, inspiration, influence, independence, insight, and of course, always verifiable, irrefutable, undeniable information. And when you roll with the lions, the lion and the lioness, you're rolling with the pride, because we are always dedicated, PRIDE, and permanently ready in destroying evil, starting with our own. You know, see, the seventh answer myself, we don't walk as Mrs. or Mr. Perfect, because we understand that we have our flaws in this humanity dimension of time and space. But we always strive to rise to our God self in masculine and feminine form to bring forth this, again, masterful, easy listening, but hardcore truthality experience, the Lion's Den. and from city to city and state to state without no follow bleepers or blunders. When you step into the lion's den, the seventh answer, Lady Karima, is going to hit you with all kinds of miracles and wonders. Miracles and wonders. Because you know that we're also part of the anti-coon movement. You know, C-O-O-N, coon. A complete, obvious, obedient, yes, a boss, Negro. We don't do cooning here, ever. There's no buck dancing, Sambo, and bedwenching. You know, no Steven from Django, no Kizzy from Roots, none of that. No, sir. No, ma'am. Because Karima and myself, we can't be bought. And more importantly, we can't be sold. And every now and again, if we don't agree in the 100%, although we agree 95% of the time, the seventh answer now, there's also the house of point and counterpoint. Some say debate in other zones, but we say point and counterpoint here. We just might have to hash it out a little bit, have differences of opinion, but it's all done in love. Because at the start and end of every day, it's okay to respect differing opinions. And it's also okay when you're shown that you're wrong on an issue, just say you're wrong to get right. Okay? And when you come into the lion's den, you're being hit with what? Virgo energy. That's right. We are practical, tactical, political, critical, but we never, ever get caught, to the best of our abilities, being hypocritical. And to all our haters out there, all you with jealous hooker syndrome, look, it's okay. Hate to your heart's content. As the seventh answer says, Happy Haters Day. Welcome, anyway. And understand, haters, the seventh answer and I, we didn't like you yesterday. We don't like you today. How you feel about us and how we feel about you. But still we rise to be agents of justice versus being agents of chaos. And oh yes, on that note, to our haters, we also have those of you that like to live in lies. You like being lied to. You don't want to experience this truth thoroughly ride, but yet you still tune in here. But yet you still tune in. But still, some of you still tune in hoping that the seventh answer and I will sell out, roll over, and give you fluff and foolishness. Well, you have our deepest sympathies and empathies, because we're not going to sell out for nobody, ever. And we're not going to compromise this great format for nobody, ever. So, you welcome to leave, scram, skedaddle, beat it, go. Because understand, haters and those who love lies, once you leave, my Negro, my Negress, or whatever your ethnicity may be, you will not be missed. And so last but certainly not least, when you come into the lion's den, a house rule set by one of our beautiful family members, I Am Manna. And that is this here. When you come into the lion's den, please wipe your feet, mind your manners, conduct yourself in an orderly manner, and enjoy yourself. Because if you get out of line any given time, the seventh answer, she gonna swoop down with the quickness and work you out like physical fitness. Hit you with so many combinations of get up out of here, not even a Jehovah will witness. I want you to understand that. Because she lives by the code of the communication of steel in the spirit of Conan the Barbarian. And what is the communication of steel? Oh, she will crush our enemies, show no mercy, and listen to the boo-hoo crying of all the trolls, kooks, and crazies that she kicks up out of here. Just so you understand, okay? And with all that out the way, like I said, the Lion's Den. The conversation continues talking about what's on your mind. Here we ask, aren't you tired of being lied to? Well, if you are, well, again, welcome and enjoy this experience and this experiment. Now, tonight's topic of discussion, or evening, morning, whatever time zone you're listening to this in, to all my, night riders out here, all my night owls joining me. Hoo. All my West Coast riders out there, welcome. And whatever time zone you're listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome. Now, we're talking about this YN culture has got to go, and accountability is a must. Now, for those of you who may not be hooked on, no, let me rephrase that. For those of you who may not be adept at ebonics, slang, jive talking, or whatever, YN stands for Young Nick. Okay, sounds like trigger. And it's an unfortunate culture that has developed over these last couple of years. I don't know. I think Dave Chappelle, comedian Dave Chappelle, was on to something years ago on his show when he had a segment titled "When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong." See, all this keeping it real culture and all that over the years, this YN culture, back in a few years ago, it was called these gangster. Look, this culture of violence, this demonic culture of violence, to be exact, has gotten way out of hand. Now, the seventh answer in I, we're always positively black. We have no problem with uplifting the race. But as Steve Harvey would say, I know some of you feel some way about Steve Harvey, but still, he made a valid point. It's okay to be about uplifting the race, but damn it all, there's some things that we're doing here now in 2026 that we have no business doing. And as you know, here in the Lions Den, we are EOCs, equal opportunity critics. We get it any and everybody. So we're gonna do spotlight on the underbelly of our people out here, black folk. Yo, listen, there are some of you out here doing things, man, that you should not be doing. And I don't understand why this pride with this young nigga, I'm coming to say young nigga culture, has taken flight. Look, here it is. We always bristle and feel some kind of way about the white supremacist culture that's out here. That calls us that word. We done seen videos where people get beat up and assaulted when they come out their face using that racial epithet. But this YN, this thing about, oh, I'm a real nigga, I'm a tough nigga. I mean, granted, I know that my generation, Generation X, started that or adopted that unfortunate culture due to outside forces incorporating themselves into our music and being invited to the barbecue, and they had no business being invited. But look, all this got to stop. And accountability is a must. For those of you who may not be, here where in my neck of the woods, New York City, New York. Look, I'm gonna take you out to East Williamsburg, Brooklyn, on Moore and Humboldt Street. A very unfortunate incident took place back on the 1st of April, 2026, wherein a 7-month-old little girl and a 2-year-old brother. The little girl's name was Kamari Patterson Moore. Here you had some YNs, the gangsters, that want to do a drive-by shooting. And unfortunately, shots did ring out. Some say speculatively that little Kamari Patterson Moore's father was the intended target behind gang-related matters. That's all purely speculative, and we'll leave that alone. But the bottom line is, this 7-month-old child was unfortunately expired by 2 goofballs, one identified as Amari Green. He was the shooter, okay? And one Matthew Rodriguez, and both are now in custody. Mr. Rodriguez had went on the lam, but he was caught in Pennsylvania. I can already imagine how he wound up getting caught. But be that as it may, Amari Green and Matthew Rodriguez took it upon themselves to shoot into a crowded street on Brooklyn with the intended target speculatively rumored to be little Kamari Patterson Moore's father. But in the interim, in the melee, 7-month-old Kamari was expired. And this has got to stop, man. Come on, man. Really? See, the underbelly of our people have got to go. Seriously, we got to get this right. It's bad enough that we have outside forces that want to incorporate themselves into killing us. But listen, if Black Lives Matter, we need to conduct ourselves like we mean that Black Lives Matter. And instead of having this YN culture, we're supposed to be having a YS, young scholars. See, all this promotion of things dumb, decadent. When you look on television in the last 15 years or more, 20 years or more, you have all these real Atlanta, the Real Wives of Atlanta, or whatever these shows are called, where you see black folk, black women, male and female, fighting and carrying on in the tradition of Jerry Springer. Okay, everybody want to be everybody want to be Mr. and Mrs. Tuffy. And my question is, what are you angry about? We already know that what we're seeing was planned and concocted by someone else. Demons walking with earthly feet. And everything now has become a cesspool of poison, but it does not help when a great many of us open the door to the vampire. Yes, sinners, we open the vampire. No, we open the door to the vampires and invite them in. Biblically speaking, let's not forget that when for all my Bible believers out there, of course, for those of us who believe the biblical accounts written, what did the Lord tell Cain when he chose Abel? When the Lord chose Abel's offering over Cain, and Cain felt some kind of way and was in his emotions and feelings, the Lord said, yo, my man, all you gotta do is give me what I ask you, and I will accept you. But if you do anything and go outside what I say, sin lies at your door. Meaning what? The devil is going to take hold on you and you're going to be dealt with. And we all know the rest of that story if you believe the account written. But the bottom line is, today we have too many of our young and even old, some of you elder who's supposed to be elders, still getting down out here in these streets like a pigeon or chicken head. So we're gonna, I'm gonna have select stories that have happened over the years that really trouble me to my core, and I'm gonna intersperse them with other talking points. But we're gonna, go into the story of little Kamari Patterson Moore, and we'll be right back as the conversation continues.
And now to the murder of that 7-month-old baby in Brooklyn tonight. We're hearing for the first time from the child's mother. She was pushing a double stroller on Wednesday when shots rang out in East Williamsburg. The baby was killed, and her 2-year-old brother, also in the stroller, was grazed by the same bullet. 21-year-old Amore Green, now charged with murder. New York cops say he was the shooter, riding on a moped in this gun insanity. Police tonight still looking for the driver of that moped. The two were injured when they crashed the moped shortly after the shooting. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles talking to the victim's mother today. She's live in East Williamsburg. Darla.
Bill, this mother is 20 years old. She's just 20 years old. She's virtually a baby herself. She was starting her life, her 2 children, her fiance. She aspires to become a pediatric nurse. And then this entire tragedy happened here behind me. She is terrified. She's traumatized, afraid to go back outside, and overwhelmed by what is happening and what has happened over the last few days.
Kaori was a sweet baby. She was always there. Anytime I needed her, she was always there.
At only 7 months old, the mother of Kaori Patterson Moore says she's always felt her daughter had purpose.
I didn't get to go to my aunt's funeral, and then I gained somebody that was there, that I comforted in and helped me through a lot.
The 20-year-old mother of this sweet 7-month-old baby girl asking not to be identified after her infant daughter was struck by a bullet in her carriage in East Williamsburg Wednesday afternoon.
She didn't deserve to die. She didn't deserve any of this. And I just wish that she was here, because I can't smell her. I can't kiss her. I can't hold her anymore. And she's just gone.
Surveillance video shows the young family leisurely walking on the sidewalk when a moped just seems to pop up out of nowhere. The group quickly ducks as shots are fired. The accused gunman, Amari Green, arrested trying to flee the scene. Police are still searching for the driver of the moped.
I'm just upset about everything everybody's posting online, saying that my fiance is a part of the reason why my daughter is gone. That's not the reason why she's gone.
This after the NYPD says her fiance may have been the intended target. But the family strongly pushing back on this, saying the only person responsible for Kaori's death is the one who pulled the trigger.
And I just wish I could have did more as a mom to protect them both. Because walking in the street and then that just happened and I didn't realize until I got into the store, it just killed me. And I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I miss you so much.
Absolutely heartbreaking. absolutely heartbreaking. Tomorrow at noon, here at the intersection of Humboldt and Moore Street, where this tragedy happened, there's going to be a massive prayer vigil. New York State Attorney General Letitia James will be here, as well as a number of faith leaders, all to honor the life of 7-month-old Keori Patterson Moore. In terms of the investigation, police are still trying to track down the person who was driving the moped. They say they know who the suspect is. They're still searching for him to make an arrest. If you know of his whereabouts, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS.
Yeah, we're back, and man, I am not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm a little emotional. I felt that one. I know most of us out there, all of us who have children and love children, I know you're feeling that one. Damn, man, it's embarrassing. There's so many different things I'm feeling right now, but again, this YN culture, this whole embracing of necromancy and necrophilia and all these things demonic. Sure, we might be able to attribute to mental illness, but mental illness is only a reflection of, in the area of being psychotic, you have spirits that have invaded a great many people into my millennial and Z generation. I'm gonna apologize to you. I will apologize to you because unfortunately, my generation, Gen X's, we opened the door and embraced this deaf culture. I'm gonna call it a deaf culture so many years ago. I can't ignore, although some of these individuals have grown up and they changed their lives or seemingly changed their lives, but still, in my time, NWA, you had so many other groups that were out there who introduced this culture of death and decadence, and and some of them I actually like this recording artist, and I was caught up in the spell myself because the beats and the music used was magnificent. You have Redman and so many others, but who, though lyrically gifted, talented, Onyx, throw your guns in the air and buck like you just don't care. And you see how easy that just rattled up. I have to admit, because the beats, the music used was so enticing, thus confirming biblically that Lucifer was indeed the chief musician in heaven, if you believe that biblical account. But it just goes to show you that the residual effect, the long-lasting effect, is that here we are now giving birth to, in some instances, monsters. And now we got to get this thing right. Look, again, it's okay to be all about I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, bigger than black, y'all, but at the same time, we have to now take accountability and corral this monstrosity that we know that the FBI, CIA, and other outside forces infiltrated and planned to infiltrate before some of us were born, or when we were born. Yeah, that's right. We don't pussyfoot around the corner, and we don't tiptoe through the tulips. We're going to identify how this started because we were told it was coming. We're going to continue on with the story of little Keori Patterson Moore, because like I said, this is just bad, man. 7 months old and cut down. by young fools. Ain't no young fools. Run the video, Seventh Answer.
Was tracked down in Pennsylvania after a 48-hour. The NYPD says that 18-year-old was tracked down in Pennsylvania after a 48-hour manhunt. News 4's Charles Watson has the details and how a heartbroken community is responding tonight.
People who live in this neighborhood who either know the family or empathizes with them say this is a tragedy that they can't easily get over. What is satisfying to them, however, is confirmation that the second suspect, who police say played a role in the shooting death of the 7-month-old baby girl, is now in custody.
This village here has to protect our young people.
Whether you knew Kaori Patterson Moore and her family or not, the pain of the 7-month-old's tragic murder weighs heavy on people in this section of Williamsburg.
Stuff like this happens because people want to play games with guns. You know, kids are real. You know, I can't imagine how her family's going to feel.
This is a very hurtful thing to see one of our young men go do this.
Family friend Kaori Friday evening, many lighting candles, writing messages of support, and shedding tears as they think about what life could have been for the baby girl.
It's just know that somebody is really hurting tonight, and they're more than we're hurting. You know? But when one mother hurt, we all hurt.
Late Friday, police confirming the arrest of the second suspect, who authorities say played a role in the gang-related shooting that snatched Kaori's life away. Law enforcement sources telling News 4 18-year-old Matthew Rodriguez, the alleged moped driver, was taken into custody in Pennsylvania. This following the arrest of his alleged co-conspirator, 21-year-old Amari Green, who, according to a criminal complaint, faces murder and several counts of attempted murder for allegedly firing the shots that killed Kaori and grazed her 2-year-old brother. Welcome news to folks still trying to make sense of what happened.
They deserve that, flying off that bike, trying to do what they did, that even if it's gang and stuff, you don't do that. It's not when kids are involved.
And despite the pain of losing Kaori, her grandmother telling News 4 on Thursday that she's willing to extend an olive branch to the young men now tied to her murder, telling them,
We forgive them and just repent to God. God is the ultimate judge.
Now, police are looking into whether the baby's father was the intended target of the shooting. As for the second suspect, charges for his alleged role in the deadly shooting are currently pending. In Williamsburg, Charles Watson.
Yeah, so now both these young men, their lives are over. They just started to live themselves, and here it is. Their lives are now over, embracing this gang culture, embracing this demonic culture, and inviting the devil into their lives. You see, you always hear the seventh answer, and I always tell a great many of you out there, to our young people listening, the devil isn't your friend, ever. And when you invite the devil in, nothing but chaos and corruption is going to follow. Nothing good comes out of evil ever. Unless you repent, reform, and you conduct your life being evil backwards. And that's making the right choice to live. You know, because evil spelled backwards is live. You make the right choice and live correctly, properly. You have little bumps and bruises along the way, because life, you know, is not like Burger King. You can't and you won't always have it your way, but still, the nullifying of pain, trouble, and strife is reduced greatly when you choose to be evil backwards and live and conduct yourself like you got some good sense. Because unfortunately, when you live to be evil, also in that word evil, you get the word vile, V-I-L-E. And this has to stop right now. Thus said the Lord. It's just that simple. We're going to continue on. We're going to run this video as, we give you different stories on this issue involving Keori Patterson Moore. Take it away, Seventh Dancer.
This is involving a young lady. This is moving on to the other story, which is involving a young lady that got shot unalive by the young goons.
Okay. All right.
It's 1:25 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. Gabrielle Ayers, 26 years old, is in the passenger seat of a white sedan. Her partner is driving. Their baby daughter, not even 1 year old, is in the back seat with a lollipop. Just a normal day in Chicago. But a red SUV has been following them block after block. And in the next 60 seconds, everything changes. The car stops at a stop sign on South May Street in Auburn Gresham. 4 men in masks jump out of the red SUV. They're carrying automatic weapons. And they open fire. 30 to 50 rounds tear through the car. Glass shatters everywhere. Gabrielle is hit multiple times. Her partner takes 2 bullets. And somehow, miraculously, the baby in the back seat isn't touched. But here's the twisted part. The shooters run back to their SUV, circle around, and fire even more shots into the car. They wanted to make sure. This was personal. Gabrielle is rushed to the hospital, but doesn't make it. She's pronounced dead, leaving behind her infant daughter, who witnessed the whole thing. A bystander's video shows a baby crying in the back seat, still holding her lollipop, surrounded by shattered glass and bullet holes. Police found over 50 shell casings at the scene. This wasn't a random shooting. Investigators believe Gabrielle's partner had posted his location on social media right before the attack, and this was retaliation for an ongoing dispute. 4 men decided their beef was worth taking a life over, worth risking a baby's life over. And here's what makes this even more frustrating. It's been 2 days, and not a single arrest has been made. The 4 shooters are still out there. The red Alfa Romeo, they escaped and hasn't been found. Crime Stoppers is offering $10,000 for information, but so far, silence. What kind of person fires automatic weapons at a car with a baby inside? What makes someone capable of that level of violence? And why does this keep happening? If you know anything about this case, contact Chicago Police at 312-747-8273 or submit an anonymous tip at tip.com.
Yeah, we're gonna incorporate. Yeah, this young Gabrielle Ayers, 26 years old. That this case took place, about 9 months ago or more. But still, she was a young woman, 26 years of age, entrepreneurial business owner, had her own salon, quite accomplished in her endeavors, and yet, unfortunately, seemingly tied to loving the wrong man. Now, we won't speculate and say that he was gang affiliated, but damn it all, come on, man. Look, I'm gonna say this here.
So there's more to the story, and it ain't even about, I don't know why the police always say the dudes, but it's kind of normal thing. But I was seeing on the low social sites that she happened to disrespect another person who died. She was beefing with somebody, and she said F whoever died and did
Oh,
something. Yeah, so I'm gonna find a little story more on it. Yeah, but it was regarding her
oh,
disrespecting someone's loved one that died or something like that. So yeah,
oh, oh. See, and this goes back and ties into when we always do our introduction, when we say freedom of speech, but responsible speech. Give careful consideration of what you say. I've seen, you know, other retaliatory, unalivings involving, in that within that with this unfortunate culture. Seventh answer: people saying disrespectful things to or about somebody's loved ones who were taken from them too soon, and people want, and again, keeping it real, going terribly wrong. And if that is the case, then it's very unfortunate. Because see, we have to understand, we all have heard that the mouth, the mouth, the tongue also carries in it life and death. And see, people, they love who they love, and they're feeling who they're feeling. And you come disrespecting them, that could lead to problems. Okay? And that's why we have to take accountability now. We have to grip and hug our children, sit them down, whatever needs to be done to drill into them that life is sacred. We have to lead by example. If we feel some kind of way about when the police, white racists, or whoever take our lives, and we raise a big hoopla and stink about that, and we should, but we go deathly silent when we have among our own demons, werewolves, and warlocks out here taking lives like it's nothing. Accountability now is a must. We can no longer live and go on like this. And that's why I apologize to my generation, millennial and Generation Z babies out here, because unfortunately within the X generation, we absorbed and invited this out of control culture for $1. Sold our souls for $1 or for the dollars. And here's the end result. This brutal and hypnotic acceptance in the areas of necrophilia, necromancy, and just overall witchcraft, feeding these demons. And this has got to stop. Like I said, when is enough gonna be enough? From every profession out here, from recording artists to private lives, we have been seeing our children get cut down. Music and art, television, we see all these so-called reality shows where we see our young men and women acting a fool for $1 or for fame and notoriety. Seventh and Surrender video.
Oh my God. Huh? They shot it up. Who's dead? Oh yeah, he did. He did.
This happened in the middle of the afternoon on a busy stretch of 79th Street in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. A witness who we spoke with says he was coming home from work when he saw the shooting. He went to go help those victims who had been shot. That's when he heard and saw an infant crying in the back seat. Somehow that baby uninjured in all of this.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
A child believed to be less than 1 year old is whisked away by a Chicago police officer Wednesday afternoon after somehow surviving this. We muted the sound, but cell phone video shows at least 3 people with guns run up and fire dozens of shots into a white car. The shooters then get into a red car, stop in front of the white car, and begin shooting again, then drive away, all while a child was helpless inside that vehicle.
Can we have an officer ride with the 1-year-old to the hospital?
Thank God that baby is so young, they probably won't remember this day, but that baby's gonna know that their mother was killed today. That baby could have been killed.
A 26-year-old woman inside the white car was shot several times and later died. A 27-year-old was also shot, but expected to survive.
They all had long guns. You know, it's just crazy.
The shooting happened at 79th Street in May around 1:30, just steps from Father Flager St. Sabina Church. He was at the scene moments after the shots were fired.
And somebody needs to be held accountable. And if anybody knows who did that, I think we got some really good shots off the cameras on the buildings over there. They just weren't caught.
And after the shooting, that white car crashed into a van. The driver of that van was also uninjured. So far, no arrests have been made.
It was the middle of the afternoon on February 4th, 2026. Broad daylight on a busy street in Chicago, Auburn Gresham neighborhood. Inside a white car sat 26-year-old Gabrielle Ayers, her boyfriend behind the wheel, and their 1-year-old daughter strapped in her car seat in the back. Then, without warning, gunmen stepped forward and opened fire. More than 50 shots tore in the vehicle. Windows shattered. The car lurched and crashed. In a matter of seconds, an ordinary day became a nightmare. Gabrielle was rushed to the hospital, but she did not survive. Her boyfriend was wounded but lived. And somehow, in the middle of that storm of bullets, their baby girl was found unharmed in the back seat. This was not the middle of the night. It was not hidden in darkness. It happened in full daylight, in a neighborhood where people walk to the store, where families attend church, where children grow up playing on these very sidewalks. By the end of that afternoon, a family would be forever changed. A child would grow up without her mother, and a community would gather once again, grieving, searching for answers, and asking how something so violent could unfold so quickly. This is the story of Gabrielle Ayers, a young woman whose life ended in a storm of gunfire.
What if you could
and whose final moments have left a city shaken. But before we examine the violence of that day, we need to understand the person at the center of it all, the mother, the daughter, the human being behind the headlines. Welcome to True Crime Diaries, where we uncover shocking crimes and hidden details behind real cases. Subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories. These are real lives and real tragedies, lessons we can't ignore. Let's dive in. There have been rumors circulating online suggesting the shooting may have been connected to a social media post Gabrielle made in November 2025. However, according to official police updates and verified news coverage, no confirmed motive has been publicly released. Authorities have not formally linked the crime to any online exchange, and the investigation remains ongoing. In screenshots that have circulated online, Gabrielle allegedly wrote that she was going to post someone else's brother in a casket. Another user, identified by the username Diamond Howard, responded to that post with a hostile message, telling her to post it and stating that Rico and them would handle her. The same user also referenced someone being dragged out of a car during what was described as a mission. Gabriel then responded by stating that the other person's brother had been left during a hit. Diamond replied again, claiming that the individual had actually been shot and dragged from a vehicle, leaving blood in the street. Another user also responded within that same comment thread, adding further remarks that were visible in the screenshots shared online. It is important to note that while these posts have circulated widely on social media, law enforcement has not publicly confirmed that this exchange is connected to the February 4th, 2026 shooting. Some online speculation suggests the shooting may have been a setup and claims that Gabriel's boyfriend, known as Rico, was involved in gang-related conflicts. However, police have not confirmed any gang connection or evidence that the incident was orchestrated from inside the vehicle. No official statements have linked him to gang activity in relation to this case. At this time, these claims remain unverified speculation. Here is another insight into this case.
Y'all, prayers out to this young woman family in Chicago. I'm gonna need all y'all to share this video right now for me. So you have this 26-year-old mother and Gabrielle Ayers was shooting behind one of these stories, and then it's
and urge the community to confront the ongoing problem of gun violence that continues to impact families on Chicago's South Side.
From all indications, there were multiple shooters who fired dozens of shots, perhaps more than 50. Remarkably, all of those bullets missed a baby who was sitting in the car that was targeted.
Investigators remained at the scene well after nightfall at this corner littered with shell casings, where somehow a baby in this bullet-riddled car emerged unscathed.
What's the purpose of shooting at a car when you know there's a child in the car? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it could be a lot of other people who's lost their life here today.
Kirk Bell is the godfather of 26-year-old Gabrielle Ayers, who relatives identify as the woman who was shot and killed in her white Chevy sedan around 1:30 p.m. at 79th and May Street, her car then crashing into a van.
This here is unbelievable. This young lady was a beautiful young lady with a beautiful child, and life just cut short. For what?
Ayers' boyfriend in the car also shot multiple times, but her 13-month-old baby daughter, who was sitting in the back, escaped unhurt.
It's a miracle that baby was not shot. It's a miracle.
St. Sabina Church is around the block from where the gunfire erupted, and the church's food pantry is on that corner. People inside hiding in a back room, and after the gunfire, emerged to help the victims.
So they saw, the young man and the woman shot up in the car as they were trying to get the baby out. But they gave the baby immediately to the police, and the policewoman took it in her car and was holding it.
They need to clean this city up. They need to. This gangs and the shooting and the killing is just unbelievable.
Gabrielle Ayers' mother tells me her daughter worked as a hairstylist and was training to be a letter carrier. Police have not offered a motive for the shooting.
Chicago police held an outdoor roll call at the site of the shooting as well, a symbolic gesture of solidarity and attention. Officers stood together, acknowledging the weight of what had happened in a neighborhood they serve and promising to do everything in their power to investigate. Some neighbors shared how personal this loss felt. One woman who had also lost her adult daughter to gun violence spoke about the pain of reliving that heartbreak through Gabrielle's story, reminding everyone that behind every statistic is a human life and a grieving family. Pastor Michael Flegger of St. Sabina Catholic Church, a well-known clergy member in the area, offered a reward of up to $10,000 for information that could lead to an arrest and appealed to anyone who might know something to come forward without fear.
Chicago police joined the community in a show of solidarity on the very corner where a young woman was gunned down.
I just can relate to what this family is going through, and it's very painful, and it just reminds me of that we need to get these guns off the street.
Neighborhood resident Demetric Brown knows all too well the pain of losing a child to gun violence. She lost her adult daughter in 2021. The Southsiders among a coalition of concerned who attended an outdoor roll call by officers from CPD's 6th District following the slaying of Gabrielle Ayers, the 26-year-old mother who was killed in a car while her 14-month-old daughter was in the back seat.
Your day-to-day covered with Base 44 Super Agent.
Seat.
We stand together, we continue to partner with one another, that you guys are willing to come forward and help us, give us information.
And Investigators say the attack happened Wednesday afternoon as Ayers and a man sat in a car near 79th and May. 3 men opened fire on their vehicle, causing them to crash into a van.
I talked to her mother, and I've also committed to paying for the services for her as well. And we will be starting to arrange those over the next day.
The 27-year-old man driving the vehicle Ayers was in was wounded but survived the attack, and incredibly, so did Ayers' child.
If he didn't show that he's still God by protecting that baby, I don't know what else he could show you.
During a prayer vigil attended by Chicago's mayor, other local elected officials, anti-violence advocates, and others, there were pleas for the killing to stop.
You're going to see our guys out here in these yellow or orange jackets constantly engaging the community, putting out fires everywhere.
The brazen daylight shooting in the city's Auburn Gresham neighborhood happened near St. Sabina Church. Today, the pastor, Father Michael Flager, offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
Don't be silent. Don't sit back, because if you do, then you are a co-conspirator to everything that they do.
So far, no one is in custody and no arrests have been made.
Chicago police have had very little to say about their ongoing investigation, except to say it is still under investigation.
A man in a car recorded himself, visibly shaken and angry, reacting to the tragic shooting. He expressed disbelief and frustration over the loss of life and the shocking circumstances of the incident.
Let's say rest in peace to Gabrielle. And my condolences goes out to her family. And I feel bad for the little baby that got to grow up without her mom. But look, I don't care what anybody got to say about what I'm about to say. Because right now, it's fuck you. Fuck anybody that got something bad to say about how I feel. Nigga. But look, I want to say, the mayor, any government official, the president, or anybody, it's not their responsibility to raise our children. It starts with us. We all who we got. Stop looking for other people for help. Them three little boys, man, I feel bad for your mama. Shit, she probably did all she possibly could have did, or maybe she didn't do nothing. I don't know the situation, but little homies, y'all ass about to walk the yard for a mighty long time. Y'all gone, nigga. Y'all gonna get caught. Hey, this ain't the old days. It's cameras every fucking well. You can't put on no ski mask, then you go get in the steam or whatever the fuck y'all did. Nigga, your ass is going down. You know what I'm saying? That's in my neck of the woods. I grew up over there. You know what I'm saying? I got 79 tattooed on my fucking neck. You know, I know how y'all feel. I know how y'all growing up. But the thing I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't give a fuck about no Brandon Johnson. Stop looking for other motherfuckers for help. Parents gotta do what the fuck you gotta do. If your son, you gotta know what your son is into. The people, places, and things. The company that he keeps. If you know your son off to some bullshit, move around. Stick and move, goddammit. Stick and move. The strong survive, meaning smart people survive. If you don't want your son in the grave or in jail for life, you gotta do something right now. This is for you parents that still got sons raising your son. Stop being friends with them. You better beat their motherfucking ass. You better black their motherfucking eyes. You better start doing what you need to do at an early age. Because when they get too old, yeah, it's too late now. It's over. It's over. Them little boys about to see Stateville, Menard, Lawrence, or any one of those type of Pontiac. They about to be walking them yards for a long ass time. If you really, really love your child, if you really, really love your sons, you got to do something right now while you got a chance. Them little boys about to call on mom for asking for help. Nah, little homie, should have been listening to mom and dad back then when they was trying to tell your ass the streets is a one-way road, boy. A one-way road. Y'all better stop doing, look, love your fucking kids right now and stop looking for the mayor or any other motherfuckers to help you. Say your own son. Say you. We are not no ops like not G say.
Bob told us that they were going to test the alien craft that night.
I have seen
This was more than a tragic shooting. It was a moment that showed both the worst and the most fragile hope, the ending of a life and the beginning of a life carried forward by family, community, and the love that even tragedy can never erase. In the days after the shooting that took Gabrielle Ayers' life, the Auburn Gresham community responded with a mix of grief, solidarity, and determination. A response shaped by love for one of their own and by deep concern over the violence that interrupted an ordinary afternoon. Just 2 days after the attack, a prayer vigil was held near 79th and South May Street, close to the scene where Gabrielle was killed. People came from nearby blocks and even from other parts of the city, walking through the cold winter air with candles in hand, gathered together to remember her and to support one another. At the vigil, people shared memories of Gabrielle as a mother, a friend, someone whose kindness and warmth had touched others. They spoke about her as more than just a news headline, but as a real person whose absence would be deeply felt by those who knew her. Local leaders and elected officials also attended the gathering. They offered prayers, but they also offered a message. The community needed to come together and stay united in the face of heartbreak. Some spoke about the importance of addressing gun violence, not just as a one-time tragedy, but as a persistent challenge that affects too many families across Chicago.
Minds, and if necessary, our hands. But now guns are the first thing we go to. It's part of our love affair in this country of guns. And until we change that, until as long as we have young people who don't love themselves, don't love each other, and don't have opportunities to do something different, we keep hearing about second chances, but we need to have some first chances for our young people in the city and in this country. I also want to say, Mr. Trump talked often about the legal problem in America, the violent problem in America. I want him to talk about the gun problem in America. The guns that are continuing to get easily.
You hear somebody say, "Oh, here we go." What Trump got to do with this?
Yeah, I heard it.
Access. I don't care what thing we have, what laws we have in Chicago. I get in my car right now and 15 minutes be in Indiana and get whatever I want and as much as I want. Until we deal with this federally, and until guns outnumber people, we're going to keep meeting like this. We've got to change it. I heard that yesterday somebody else put up a reward, and St. Savannah is putting up a $10,000 reward today. Amen. We want to understand, for those that know something, and somebody always knows something. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, these folks that go out and shoot and don't care about anybody, Talbot, they brag about it. Somebody knows. Somebody recognizes them. Somebody knows what's going on. Dr. King said the moment we become silent about things that matter, we begin to die. So to those that know, don't die. Don't be silent. Don't sit back, because if you do, then you are a co-conspirator to everything that they do. And if they shoot here, they're going to shoot anywhere, and they may shoot you. Amen. So why don't you become part of the solution and break your silence and tell us what you know? I pray that you get convicted. If you know somebody and you know who did it, I pray you don't sleep. You can't close your eyes. You can't get rest until you come forward. A mother was killed here. And I'm tired of black women being killed and disappearing in this country. I'm tired of black women being shot in this country. So don't let this continue to happen.
Okay, well, you know something? I can agree with him on that part. I'm tired of seeing all this violence among ourselves. And again, this embracing of the YN culture and this what I call a YD, young demon culture, from both male and female. He did say something right in the area. I'm tired of seeing black women indeed disappearing in this country. At last count, 10 years ago. I stopped counting back in 2016, and it's been about, at that time, an estimated 75,000 black women were missing in this country, in America. America now. I want you to think about that. But at the same time, though, in that time frame, and before that, this embracing of destructive, self-destructive, and just all around witchcraft and warlockery that we've embraced has got to stop. Look, if Black Lives Matter, we have to be the beacon that shows that. See, when we kill each other the way we're killing each other, okay, this is what influences outside forces to want to come in and lend their 2 cents to a party that you have myself, Seventh Answer, and other responsible moderators and somewhat activists trying to break up. But it starts with us. Accountability, it starts with us. Go ahead, Seventh Answer, take it away.
It's a story you'll only see here on 12. A mother and son watching the moments the teenage boy was attacked after school by a group of 3 knife men, brought to tears after realizing they were trying to stab him in the neck. Police still on the search tonight for that trio. News 12's Mike Lamort has the story tonight.
Hugo Reyes and his girlfriend were just trying to get home yesterday after school, but police say these masked men had other plans for the young couple. One of them running by with a knife can be seen trying to stab the 16-year-old in the neck before chasing the high schoolers down the block. Hugo ran home as fast as he could, knowing it could have meant life or death.
Take my son away from me for no reason.
The teenager and his mother watched the attack in horror as we gathered surveillance video, believing Hugo's attackers were on a mission that afternoon to kill him.
I don't even know their name. I don't know what school they go to. They probably don't even know me.
Hugo and his family now left with more questions than answers. Back at the scene of his unprovoked attack near 2560 East Tremont Avenue.
What's in your head to like go harm somebody that has not done nothing to you?
The aspiring mechanic says he's lucky to be alive, showing us his wounds while he was at the hospital. The knife man was fast, but Hugo's jacket caught most of the blade.
Thank God I'm here today to like talk to my mom, laugh and cheer up with my mom, talk to my siblings and stuff.
Hospital, and 2 stitches later, his family is calling on other kids to stay.
Yeah, I remember that case, but I'm just saying, yo, this is what I'm talking about. What is wrong? Now, I do know what's wrong, so I'm asking the question rhetorically, but still, who's raising these kids, man? We have to accept among our culture that we have a severely broken moral compass, and we have to now get it right. See, when you see what happens when you invite other people into your lives and into your space. You see what happens when you make the devil your friend? You take on his attitude, his way of living, his ways and means, which turns you into a wild, out of control, rabid beast. He's called the beast for a reason. And see, when you take on the devil and you embrace demonic ways, these demons want to be fed. They have to be fed. See, without giving a sermon, like the Bible tells you, like the Lord told Cain, whoever you open your door to, that's who's going to come in. You do what I say do, I got your back. I will accept you. You go left, you go You go to course that you're thinking about going, sin lies at your door. See, this is where they get that whole concept of the vampire. And you have to invite evil in. Everything is biblical, whether you believe in the Bible or not. And what we're doing tonight is showing it, look, enough is past enough. And what we're also showing is that we are able to talk about anything at any time and say what needs to be said, how it should be said, and when it should be said. And that is just in pure, unadulterated truth. And damn it all, there are some things that we are doing, Black America, my children of Israel, there are things that we are doing that we should not be doing. We have to stop making the devil our friend. We have to stop making evil our friend. And we have to stop thinking that this gang culture, this YN culture that we've embraced doesn't have long consequences and repercussions. Sure, I know some people look at the movies and whatever else, and they see the imagery, it look all flashy. You know, you think back on movies like coming in my time, you had Boys in the Hood, you had Menace to Society, and so on and so forth. Sure, it look all flashy, movie image-wise, but in real life, as a young man who spoke so passionately in the truck, these killings and these unalivings, they have long-standing consequences. People's lives are ruined and shattered forever. And again, talking all tough and being brash with your mouth. I mean, look at the fact that in the same Chicago that Miss Aries comes from, it makes me think about the late Davon Bennett, better known as King Von. It made me think about Terrence Rogers, who was known as T. Roy. It makes me think about all those young men within that circle of recording artist Young Dirk, whose name I won't even try to pronounce. The first name is a tongue twister, but Young Dirk. All these young men cut down 25 years of age. Everybody want to be a tough guy, want to be disrespectful. It takes me back to my time when two of the biggest recording artists, Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G., and Tupac Amaru Shakur, Death Row, East Coast, West Coast, the ridiculousness of that whole setup, wherein all these young men, no more 24 and 25 years of age, cut down. You had not only Tupac, but some of his outlaw members who lost their lives in that what you call so-called war. But come on, man. Our moral compass is severely broken, and we have to fix it, not yesterday, but right now. Run the video, Seventh Answer.
Ain't no way this girl still sitting in the car 45 minutes after alive, 30 minutes after alive. So you think this girl just sitting outside? You think she just sitting outside in the car?
You saying she finna be outside her car waiting on us to pull up?
That's what I'm saying.
This girl got shot outside her
outside the car. And it went that many shots tonight. That's what's up close and personal. Somebody made that girl come back outside, man. Stop playing me like y'all dumb.
He said that before anybody told him how she died. No news report had dropped yet, no police statement, no details released to the public. So I need somebody to explain to me how we already knew it was up close and personal. On January 10th, 2024, at approximately 1:45 in the morning, Birmingham police responded to a call on the 800 block of Greencrest Turn in the community of Birmingham. When officers arrived, found 2-year-old unresponsive in the driveway of her family's home. She had been shot. Birmingham Fire and Rescue arrived on the scene and pronounced her deceased right there where she fell just 15 feet from her own front door. This was Birmingham's second homicide of 2024. The month wasn't even halfway through, but here is what made this case different from the very beginning. Minutes, and I mean minutes, before Mia was found in that driveway, she had been on Facebook Live.
What's up, y'all? I'm Percy Miller, Master P, and I want to
Man the streets knew as Youngster, and by the time the sun came up over Birmingham that morning, the entire internet had already decided who did it. The only problem with that? They were wrong. But before we get into all of that, we need to talk about who Mia actually was, because this story does not start on January 10th, 2024. It starts much earlier than that. Mia Chardell Nixon was born on October 19th, 2002. She grew up right there in Birmingham's Crestwood neighborhood. And from early on, she had a gift hair, nails, beauty. That was her world. By the time she was 21 years old, she had already earned certifications, built a loyal client base, and was known across Birmingham for the precision and creativity she brought to her work. Her clients kept coming back and they kept sending people her way because she was simply that good at what she did. The dream she talked about openly, the one she was actively working toward, was opening her own salon one day. And on social media, Mia was alive in every sense of the word. She posted regularly. She connected with her followers. She went live often sometimes for what she called story times, sometimes for tea times, just sharing her life, her personality, her world. People were drawn to her energy. Officer Truman Fitzgerald of the Birmingham Police Department would later describe her publicly as beloved, talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field. Now here is where the story gets complicated, because alongside the image of this hardworking, talented young woman, there were questions that the people of Birmingham were asking long before January 2024. For someone who was 21 years old and still building her beauty business from the ground up, Mia seemed to have access to a lifestyle that went beyond what most people in her position could explain. Designer pieces, high-end jewelry, photos on social media showing large amounts of cash. Now I want to be very clear here. Allegations are not convictions, rumors are not facts, and a young woman's lifestyle is not evidence of anything on its own. But the whispers in Birmingham were persistent, and eventually, those whispers attached a name to Mia that would follow her for the rest of her life. They called her the Birmingham Setup Queen. In street terms, a setup queen is a woman who allegedly gets close to men, particularly men who are known to carry money or valuables, and then positions them to be robbed by associates waiting nearby. Now, no official record ever confirmed Mia's direct involvement in any such activity. What existed were allegations, street talk, rumors that circulated through Birmingham and eventually made their way onto social media. But here is the question worth sitting with when a nickname like that attaches itself to you in the streets. What does that mean for your safety? And then came December 2nd, 2022. More than a year before her death, Mia came face to face with something that would change her life completely. She eventually talked about that night herself, publicly, in her own words. And I want you to hear exactly what she said.
Okay, this is story time about how I got shot or whatever. So I was talking to this boy. We was talking for like a couple minutes, be in my car, like ride around in my car. We used to always be together, riding around, stuff like that. So this day he told me to follow this dude so he can buy some pills. So we followed the dude so he could buy the pills, so we didn't buy the pills. It's me, him, and his homeboy in the car. So as soon as we like get to the red light, we was at the red light, like all we had to do was just turn around and boom, you at the red light from where we was. So we get to the red light. He trying to put the location in my phone so we can go to where we was finna go. So it was shooting, but me, I didn't think that they was like shooting like at us, because while they were shooting, they were driving up. So when they were far back, it just sounded like it was somewhere else. So when the bullets started coming through the car, that's when one of the bullets, when the bullets started coming through the car, I hit the gas, but one of the bullets hit me. It went from the back of my head through my ear and across my face. So that, like, I heard a loud pop, and then, like, you know, the ringing that you hear in your ear, that's what I heard. Like, my ear just started ringing real loud, and I just blacked out. So once I blacked out, I crashed into a tree. So when I hit the tree, I went like this, like that's what woke, like, kind of came, let me come back to consciousness. So I woke up, and instantly I just opened the door, and then his homeboy that was in the back seat, he jumped out, and I got out, but I instantly fell to the ground. And he was like, "Mia, get up," and I couldn't get up. Like, I don't know how long I was on the ground. Like, I just was unconscious. So that's when I just hop up. So when I hop up, I open the back door, and I laid in the back seat for like 2 seconds, but then I remembered that he was in my front seat. So I jump up, and I'm looking for my phone. I'm just looking for my phone. So I find his phone, and I'm screaming his name. I'm like, I can't say his name, but, you know, like, I'm just screaming his name. I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password? I gotta call the police." I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password?" Once, like, I kept calling him, and I was trying to, like, just make sure that we all was okay. So, like, that's when I'm just screaming his name. I knew, like, once he wasn't answering me, he was gone. So, like, the people from across the street, it was a store across the street, like, the people from across the street, they come over. So I'm screaming our names. I'm just trying to let them know who he was. I'm just screaming our names. I'm like, "Please just call my mama. Please, like, just call him." And I'm gonna do a part 2.
It's carried.
What if you could push sounds back or
2023, less than a year after surviving that shooting, Leeds police arrested Mia on drug trafficking charges. Her bond was set at $40,000. A 21-year-old posted that bond without hesitation, and for people who had already been asking questions about where her money was coming from, that detail did not go unnoticed. She kept moving, kept showing up, kept living out loud, and the streets kept watching. Which brings us to the early hours of January 10th, 2024. Mia was home. Her family was inside the house, her cousin, her aunt, 2 younger relatives. A regular night by all appearances. She got in her car, parked in the driveway of the family home on Greencrest Turn, and she went live. What started as a casual broadcast with her followers that night took a turn that nobody, not even Mia, could have fully anticipated. A man who went by the name Youngster joined the live, and whatever had been building between these two in the weeks prior came to a head right there on camera, in front of everyone. The accusations flew. She was allegedly involved in situations where people got set up, and Mia, true to everything anyone ever said about her personality, was not about to back down from anything being thrown at her. The live ended. Mia stayed in her car, and 34 minutes later, she was gone. We are going to walk through every single minute of what happened in between, because those 34 minutes hold the answers to everything. It is just after 1 o'clock in the morning on January 10th, 2024. Mia is sitting in her car, parked in the driveway of her family's home on Greencrest Turn. The house is occupied. Her cousin is inside her aunt, 2 younger relatives. She is live on Facebook. The broadcast is casual at first, comments flooding in, hearts and reactions filling the screen. Just Mia being Mia, connecting with her followers the way she always did. And then Youngster shows up in the comments. Now, Mia and Youngster were not strangers. They moved through the same Birmingham circles, the same nightlife, the same parties. They knew the same people and understood the same world. But whatever had been simmering between them beneath the surface came up fast that night. The accusations on that live were direct. She was allegedly involved in setting someone up, someone connected to him. And the tone made it clear this was not a casual disagreement between 2 people who barely knew each other. This was personal, and Mia was not quiet about it. Here is what the people watching that live heard.
And the police come get you for robberies and everything else. Don't y'all think they would have came and got me? Don't y'all think they would have got these phones and seen my location and seen where I was? Them folks just surrounded the projects and got my home. They ain't showing my picture. Saying where he at. Police just surrounded us. Talking about, stop playing me on God, on that lane store. You see the girl had all typing on, and I ain't even finna talk about her on Newcomb, ain't. I ain't finna say nothing else about her. But it's other going on with that little situation. Stop playing with me like that. Ain't no way this girl still sitting in the car 45 minutes after a lie, 30 minutes after a lie. So you think this girl just sitting outside? You think she just sitting outside in the car?
You saying she finna be outside her car waiting on us to pull up?
That's what I'm saying.
This girl got shot outside her
Outside the car. And it went that many shots tonight. That's was up close to personal. Somebody made that girl come back outside, man. Stop playing with me like y'all dumb. I don't know. That girl had a champion on. Stop playing on me. Do nothing to that girl. I don't even know where this girl stay. I'm stupid talking on that. You just making up. Everything he said, he just making up. I don't know. That boy said, hey, twin. That boy said a bando by Gay City. What? He said what? We was in the bando by Gay City when we was on live this morning. Why you know what we was? Man. You know what we was? Man, stop playing on me, man.
Bring the towers out.
That's what I'm saying.
Tower with a phone.
Tower with a phone, man.
My God, this is what happened when you're in over your head. I remember that. I remember this young lady's story and all that. I won't, I don't hear what I'm gonna say. It's unfortunate, okay? But again, it all boils down to, again, all this embracing of everything death, everything reckless. Like, again, they say that image is everything. You see the movies and TV shows that are out there that are, BET and other networks that glamorize and make this life look so flash and dash. And, you can go in and out, take people's lives like it ain't nothing. Movies, shows like Power and all these other shows. But in reality, when you embrace this gang culture, death culture, this YN culture, it is destructive, it is long-lasting, and your soul is on the line. We're going to run this video here, and I'm going to the comment section. I see a lot of y'all are talking. We got y'all talking. That's a good thing. Seventh answer, take it away.
To the floor. Let the body sit the floor.
Gun violence here in the casino in Hard Rock. He's still going, he's still mad. They got this guy detained. Shot a guy. The guy they shot. Oh my God. Oh, you taking it? You taking it?
Yeah, for those who may not know, you're looking at, I'm sorry. For those who may not know that, you're looking at the scene where rapper stage name Offset from the Migos was, killed, unalived, unfortunately, in what looked to be a robbery gone awry. But the bottom line is, like I said, This is just bad all the way around. And it's
Now this
embracing.
Offset just got shot.
I said Offset.
Yeah.
I
Not
said
killed.
Offset.
Not killed. Just shot for now. We don't know if he unalive. Offset
Oh.
from yeah. Offset
From Migos.
yeah.
Oh no, Offset is gone. Seventh answer. Wait. Hold on. Offset.
No,
Yeah.
Offset, that's Carly B man. He just got shot. You talk about
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What you're seeing now in Florida.
Oh man.
He's not unalive, not that I know of, but he got shot.
So while we're doing this broadcast, Offset just got hit.
Yes.
Damn. Oh wow, man. Go ahead, Seventh. Run the video, Seventh answer.
Damn, they trying to get all amigos up out of here, right? It's being reported that Offset was shot near Florida casino. Y'all know Offset always was at the damn casino. That man like gambling, fool. They say they transported him to the hospital where he's in stable condition with non-life threatening injuries. So somebody probably gave him a little $150 in the arm somewhere type shit or in the leg. Situations like this just make you think. Life is short because in this very moment, Offset life could have been taken from that bullet. We don't know how many times he got shot, but I'm going to keep y'all updated. And then another thing, I know a lot of BMs be beefing with their BDs and they be saying some off the wall shit. Y'all got to realize that words is powerful because y'all remember Cardi B was saying some crazy shit. But like I said, I'm going to keep y'all updated and praying for a speedy recovery for Offset. Damn, they trying to get all amigos up out of here, right?
Yeah, I'm
Here's
thinking
a
about
video of
Tupac.
Offset at casino after being shot. Here's a video of Offset at casino after being shot.
It's all on camera, bruh. Hey, man, this fool little TJ that shot this nigga goddamn Offset in the ass, bro. Offset was whooping little TJ at the goddamn Hard Rock, and then what turned around, bruh? Hey, he walked off and TJ pulled a whole move and Dolphin him and shot him in the cheeks. That's why he's sitting in the back of the squad car right now. That's the breaking news. It's all on camera, bruh. Hey, man, this fool little TJ that shot this nigga goddamn Offset in the ass, bro.
Offset shooting part 2.
Gun violence. You're in the casino in Hard Rock. He's still going. He's still mad. They got this guy detained. Just shot a guy. The guy they shot.
The money we love, hello. Y'all folks tell me, come get it. Come get it, me. Come on. Get the money we love.
Handlers, huh? You know what I mean? Push whatever you think you can do, you got it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fuck that nigga.
What's handlers, huh? You know what I mean? Push whatever you think you.
They just shot a man. Gun violence. You're in the casino in Hard Rock. He's still going. He's still mad. They got this guy detained. Gun violence here in the casino in Hard Rock.
I was falsely charged.
Okay, wow. So it was. I was thinking about Takeoff when the rapper Takeoff from the Migos, who got killed at a casino in Texas. But that, wow, here we are talking about it, and this manifests. Look, this is what I'm talking about. The moral compass among our people is broken, and we have to fix it. But now, let me see who's talking real quick. I'm gonna come right back. All right, we have Water Blue Ezekiel. What's going on? Shalom. Welcome. Yes, thank you for powerful broadcast. Thank you for appreciating it. Look, the seventh answer, and we're not afraid to take on any topics out here. We're gonna go deep. We have Miss J, Tawana Johnson. Hey. You're saying, let me see what you said. You said they were attacking innocent people. He didn't have anything to do with their behavior. He was just walking down the street. A lot of these children are products of their environment. When the family structure is not strong, the gang culture takes over, or just organized crime in general. I agree. We know that the family structure is indeed what the United States government broke up, but we have to take the responsibility now to get it back, take it back, because only we can fix us. There's no getting around it. But I love the commentary that y'all bring into the table and everything else. And if some of y'all might want to come up here and talk to us, drop the link, Seventh Answer, in case some of you may want to come and converse, sound off, get something off your chest, and make a contribution to this conversation. But the bottom line is, I cannot believe that here we are talking about the issue, and then breaking news. Offset of the Migos just caught a bullet and you got this gentleman. The guy was up there laughing that the man caught a bullet in the buttocks. That's not funny. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about tonight. What's funny about that? What's so, there's this callousness that exists among us. But then again, biblically, Christ did say that in these last days and times, the love of many, that civility would wax cold. And we're seeing it. We're living it in real time. Seventh Answer, take it away.
Okay, according to TMZ. I ain't gonna lie, bro, this some crazy ass news to hear. When I seen near casino, the first thing I thought of is when that dude was recording him. I think the reason he didn't want to take no picture with him because he didn't want his location exposed. Ain't no telling what happened, but this is why they be refusing pictures. Sad thing is, I already see some Cardi B fans laughing at this. I like Cardi B too, but this shit ain't funny at all. I'm pretty sure no matter what they have going on, she don't want nothing to happen to dude. She got kids with them. At the end of the day, they need their dad. That's why I always say life is short. This could have went way worse, bro. Takeoff passed away and nobody expected that to happen. I don't know him at all, but I'm glad he is okay, though. I will say, though, if his people looking for him like this, he got to start changing how he move. A lot of people always seeing dude at the casino. They probably knew exactly where he was at and what time he was going to be there. He got to move better for sure. No cap. Facts.
Why is it that the last 10 videos I've seen of Offset have been in the casino? I think this man needs genuine help. Here he is arguing with somebody who wanted a photo and he said no. Now, I don't disagree with him wanting his time or his space, but if you look at his surroundings, where is he? In the fucking casino. Now, when Selena Powell exposed him, she said she gave him bread for the casino. She also said that he was only with her because he needed bread for the casino. Now, we know for a fact that he had a problem with his taxes, but is it really this bad? I don't know. All I know is that he probably should contact the gambling hotline.
Offset was just shot while at a casino in Florida. Apparently, he was involved in a dispute outside the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. We don't know over what. Good news is that bro is okay. He's in the hospital recovering as we speak. Say what you want about him, but he's still a father at the end of the day, so I definitely don't condone this. So prayers up to Offset.
Doing coverage now, FBI Atlanta has arrested another person in connection with the alleged robbery and kidnapping of Gucci Mane at a Dallas studio. Terrence Rogers is the 9th and final suspect in this case. On January 10th, investigators say Roderick Davis, also known as Gucci Mane, agreed to meet rapper Pooh Shiesty, who was signed to his record label. Prosecutors say his legal name is Lontrell Williams Jr., wanted out of his contract. Instead of a negotiation, investigators say a group of armed men pulled guns and took over that meeting.
Pooh Shiesty, wow, man. With a name like that, yeah. Oh, God, wow. Gucci Mane, wow. Anyway, yo, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we're talking about. For those of you who are just joining the Lion's Den, the segment titled The Conversation Continues. We welcome you. We're your hosts, The Seventh Answer, Lady Karima, and I am Brother Dark Storm. And we thank you for allowing us to come in your mind, soul, and cipher. You know, in these last couple hours, time is really flying when you're having a good time, albeit this is a very, very unfortunate subject matter we have to embrace. But look, this YN culture, it's got to go. Accountability is a must. Look, only we can save us. And again, this is what we're talking about. All this embracing of death, and this recklessness among our young people, and even some of our elders who are still giving it up. OGs, as they're referenced, which means original gangsters. When do we put a stop to this madness? If Black Lives Matter, all right? Again, we get all upset and up in arms when you have outside elements, murder, shooting, killers, which is all, I get that. But again, this deafening silence among the rank and file of our people when we are doing it to each other, no, this is not acceptable. It can no longer, could go on like this. And we have to pull the reins. Like I said, this is disturbing. First you had Takeoff for the Migos. Now you have Offset. And these young men are not even 30 years old. In my time, you had Tupac Amaru Shakur and a majority of his outlaw posse, along with Christopher Wallace, all gunned down. They weren't even they hadn't even reached 25 in some instances. And then when I think back on both Tupac and Biggie, when you listen to their music, they always predicted their own deaths. They always predicted that they were going to be cut down. And as we saw in this video earlier, there was a young man who said, and you always hear us saying it, words carry power. The things you say out your mouth can get you accolades or can get you hurt. This takes me back to a recording artist, a young man. His stage name was Fulio. And boy, was he going around getting it in, talking about his ops on record. Man, yo, from King Von, all these dudes, man, young men. And this fascination and love with all things murky, decadent, and dark. And so this is the time now we here on the Lion's Den. We're saying we have to stop the violence. For those of you out there that are listening to this broadcast, if you are parents, don't be your children's friend, be their parents. It's okay to be a little lenient and negotiable, but no, be your child's parents, parental guidance, lay down the law. Like the young man said early on, if you got to put in a little beat down on their sides to get them in order, do what must be done. But this got to stop. Go ahead, Seventh Answer. Let the video play.
Son, they got these broke ass niggas. These hoes need to see a real nigga. Ain't never told on nobody. With the M's, you got more money than me, I'll let you on my live. I know y'all niggas got more money than me, man. Period. I'll put together. Or my wife, nigga. Fuck you talking about, bro.
Okay, now this is Gucci Mane. See now, see he being reckless.
Hold on. So what they were trying to say is that he was working with the feds. This is what I'm about to bring up. They saying that he was working with the feds, bringing the people down. So he's saying he's not, working with the feds and all this type of stuff. But they saying that his clone is the one that's working with the feds.
Well, you know what? I didn't want to say it. The fake Gucci. You just. So what it's saying? Fake Gucci is working with the feds. He federale now.
They said the clone is working with the feds.
Yeah, he FBI now. Oh, he COINTELPRO for real.
Okay, so it's going off the case. We got to understand. Okay, it's going off the case. He's working with the feds because he just got robbed. This just happened not too long ago.
I know, Pooh Shiesty. I'm aware. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that basically they saying that he's cooperating with the feds. He's saying he's not, but people saying that his clone is the one that's working with the feds.
Well, look, if somebody try to take you out and rob you, you got no choice but to answer questions. You know what's he? I'm gonna say this here. What do they think he was supposed to do? If Mr. Pooh Shiesty came in with the intent on putting a hurt on him and what have you, and they say contractual dispute, which probably means Gucci been robbing him. What choice does he have? But this takes me. But you know what? But Seventh Answer. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
Be quiet. Okay, I don't care what you're going through. If you're a gangster, you're supposed to be quiet and deal with it and handle it your way.
Okay. Well, hold up. You know what? You're right. Especially if you're talking all that yang about how you move and you roll. Yeah. Words carry.
Right.
And
I want to play little clips. Okay, after you get, because it's a few of them back to back. So, yeah.
But Seventh Answer, as you pull this right, you got me thinking about the conversation that you dropped, the gem you dropped in my ear about how some of these musical artists and all that demonic crap that they're embracing, that here it is, their taskmasters want their money back and they're erasing them intentionally. Right. You got me thinking about that. Wow. All right, we're gonna switch.
They gotta get that money back some way. You feel me?
Run the video, and we're gonna come right back, and we're gonna talk about that. Run the video.
Ass nigga, soft ass nigga. Nigga, I might buy my wife a $50,000 ring. Nigga, ain't nobody gonna do a $50 million ring. Nigga ain't even better not even look at her finger, nigga. Soft ass nigga. Nigga goddamn need to step to me, fuck nigga. I would love to, nigga. I don't care. You see me, my wife, you can step to me. I'ma smoke you. You know what's going on with me. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Soft ass nigga. It's the only thing I believe in. That's it. Keep it in the street.
To rationalize this Gucci thing. They're like, nah, it's not Gucci who told us to clone. And it's and the reality here is rap is growing up. Every rapper we think we know, they're all getting exposed, and we all realize the more we see about them, whatever they built up an image for 10, 15 years, none of it is actually congruent with who they really are. And the ones that are all gone. They're doing life in jail. They're dead. There's no one. That's a tough pill to swallow.
And he kind of touched down on what I'm saying. And I ain't really watching these videos fully, so we watching them together. You know what I mean? But it's crazy how he painted a picture. Like I said, they're all are being exposed. They're all being painted. You know, they're all, like I said, they all know that they're going to have to give that money back, meaning that they're going to be in courts. They're going to be dealing with, situations where they tied up in courts where they got to pay a big fine, go to jail or whatever, because, they ain't paying no taxes on none of that. Uncle Sam wants his money back. And they probably ain't cooperating. And now that the Hollywood and all this music, people are doing it on the internet wise, they don't even really need them. You know what I mean? They could build rappers on the internet. People are using, different apps to create music. And remember I told you the court system are using rappers as far as political gain so they can make money off of them too. All they got to do is just screen them through YouTube, have a whole bunch of viewers tapping in, watching them go through the process of, their recode or whatever the case, but it's always going to be fine. It's breaking them some kind of way. It's like Cosby and all the black people, they got to get that money back. They're not about to sit there and be free where they can be in control of, spending their money and buying corporations, companies, none of that. Not going. You got to get that back. It was all show. It was all credit. Why you was, and like they say, half of these rappers don't even have, they're not getting money. They're getting all these, like jewelry, financing for probably these Ubers, because they ain't keeping these cars, It's basically just getting rides from them, using them for credit and things of that nature. And by the time they run up their bill, they don't have no money because they have to give all this money back. By the time they get into these contracts, they have to give that money back. So they give them all this little fake stuff and make them seem like they're getting a whole bunch of stuff, but they're really not. They're really in their pocket because they still own, these jewelry companies. It's all just basically a little scam to make them seem like they're doing. Why do you think all these rappers don't even be having nothing? They don't be having nothing. All that just be show. We know that be entertainment and show money and things of that type of nature, but they do be giving them like credit. They probably have front them some, a credit line, or, a bag, a car, just put things in their little video and all that type of nature.
Yeah, but 17, but as we talked about it, what I noticed though, when I look at, let's look at, for instance, I only know them by their stage names right now, But when I look at XXXTentacion, when I look at FBG Duck, when I look at King Von and so many other rappers over the last decade who have turned up dead, you know what I find weird? I'm gonna use the word weird. That here they were all signed to the same record label, with the parent company being Universal Records. Okay? The same company that Aaliyah was signed to. And you know how she wound up passing. But in the process of time, we find out that these record companies and record execs be having life insurance policies on all these aforementioned artists, and they're dead now. And these record companies are getting like oodles and boodles of money off their deaths. So what's the connection? You look, like I said, these demons have to be fed. And then these young men and women, they go in here making these deals, embracing the devil, embracing that culture, and get ate up. Because like you said, even on all levels, like you said,
they try to forfeit the contract. You can't forfeit the contract. You're still on to the contract. And if you're not hustling and bustling and doing what we saying, we want that money back. You're not about to leave with none of that. Matter of fact, we still got that. And we're going to find ways for you not to get it and eliminate you. That's just how it is. You know?
Ooh.
Remember when he won his case, Offset won his case and wanted to try to go after that money, you know, and they rewarded him back. He fought, you know, most people be like, forget it. I'm not even tripping off of the money. But yeah, he fought to try to get that money back. And I think they rewarded him his money back. So some of the property. So no, they don't. They try to keep that. That's the reason why they tie you up in courts. You know,
yeah.
That's how the government works when they're trying to control you. Financially, take your bank from you, put you in courts where they tie you up financially because of criminal or whatever. It's like they did Cosby. I'm trying to tell you. They want their money back from all these people. They built them, controlled them, and they talked about they're going to do their own thing and nobody controlling them. Yeah, okay.
And that's why we got Angie Stone gone, D'Angelo gone. Wow, man. The connection is off the hook. But see, this is what I'm saying. This YN and gangster culture, or this culture of embracing the devil, trying to make the devil your friend. Ladies and gentlemen out here, understand the devil is not your friend. Cutting deals with the devil is never a good thing. And over these last, like I said, 15 or more years, 20 years or more, all these reality shows are not reality. All this embracing of violence and carrying on. And look at how it spills out. People walking around here thinking they gangster, thinking they tough. And looking to take someone's life. Let me see who's talking.
Yeah, but who is in control of spreading the propaganda? The music, you know, they put it to where it's podcast spitting about gangster stuff, and you just go listen to all that. They're glorifying it, and it's like the police know every detail of what's going on. They're just building cases. I mean, building in the streets are talking like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
They talking on the internet like it ain't nothing. Look at the guy that I just showed you. They're talking on the internet, telling everything. So they know detail by detail. It ain't no more just, you know, keeping quiet. But the fact of the matter is they know the whole detail and they still act like they can't solve a case. It's crazy. You know, like I said, they be building these characters, which who is doing that? Who is in control of the music? Who is in control of the TV? Who's in control of all of this? To try to make us look bad and take us down at the same time because they know something we don't know. As long as they keep us distracted and make us seem like we're criminals, then they, you know what I mean? They can continue running the world and acting like they're the chosen people.
Wow. Now let me see who's talking. And
Put a little bit of money in their pocket, jewelry and all this, you know, weird stuff, you know, pleading to their eyes and all that, keeping them distracted. And then, you know, signing their life on the dotted line because they're in control of them. Because they can't let their weapon run rapid.
all right. Wow. And Water Blue, Ezekiel, wow. The common denominator of Offset almost being unalive is behind the same reason his cousin was unalive, gambling. So literally they're gambling he's gambling with his life. Wow. And then Tyrone, you say this happens in every neighborhood daily. And that's what we're trying to solve. And then you say, Water Blue, you said the big record you just said what I just said. Oh wow. The big record execs give these jokers clauses and put life insurance policies on them. The moment they sign, they're going to get their money one way or the other. Water Blue, the only thing these rappers get with those contracts are lifetime supplies of oodles and
Really? I mean, because they don't be controlling nothing. You know what I mean? Why you think they be doing all these other scams under the cover? They get more money off their little scams and schemes and be caught up in these other activities.
Yes, and Water Blue, yeah, they did get Prince. And he ironically died in the same way he described in Let's Go. You're right. That's a hell of a connection. But the thing is, Seventh Answer, you talked about this just a few short weeks ago. You was giving me game like crazy, and I went looking, and now here we are tonight talking about this whole YN culture and look at all the connect. Look at this, man. This is ridiculous. And my thing is, look, if we say
these are the people who they look out and listen to and try to be harder and funking with. It's like they beef, you know. And like I said, the entertainment actually put them out there, give them a platform to beef with each other.
And that's ridiculous in itself too. Because my thing is, as veteran DJ who goes by the name of Kid Capri says so many years, what are you angry about? Here you're being given the opportunity seemingly to make millions of dollars, something that our pioneers dreamed about making. You out here making that money, and now you're effing it up. What are you angry about? What's all this, want to, unalive and chanting death, death, death? Come on. But this just goes to show you, when you're raised up on schlock and garbage, you can't help but smell like the garbage you choose to live in and wallow in. So as we continue on, your observation, Seventh Answer, the thing is, these artists, they're giving their imagery, which spills out into everyday life. And like I said, art imitates life, life imitates art. And this is where we're losing ourselves. You and I, we did an unearthing on who is doing this when we brought forth the videos showing the one-time informant who called himself or was known as Dr. Perry, who told us, well, our parents anyway, 50 or more years ago, what the FBI and CIA, COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, had planned for the takeover of our music, the takeover of what we watch, of what we hear, how we think. He said this was a well orchestrated demonic plan, and unfortunately, it worked. Seventh answer. And even when we bring out these facts, there are people who will look at us side eye like we crazy. Even when we bring the evidence and we show.
Yeah, let me say this.
Go ahead, seventh answer.
They all work together, okay? This is how it works. They offered them, they don't even really offer them money. They tell them how much they're going to get or whatever. Give them a little credit card and have them run it up, little credit line or whatever, and have them run it up. But the first place that they go is to the cart place, you know, to their cousin that they send them to, family member, you know, dealer. Then they'll send them to jeweler, which is another cousin, okay, running it up. And so they all in the pocket, all family members, all these little, you know, family members. I don't want to say because they were like, I'm trying somebody call it. No, I'm not going to go there. But you already know what I'm talking about. They're all in control of all this. So they tell them to go to their little jeweler. And this is the catch. They put what another probably op will see, which is the jewelry, you know. So they be like, okay, that's like if you take the chain, it's like what they call a trophy. I got his chain, you know. They'd put the name, put the chain, you know. So they take the little chain, you know, and now it's beef. Now they trying to figure out who got the chain or whatever. Now they put it on the little rap song. I got the chain. It's all, you know what I mean, fake beef. You know, just to bring the, you know, the artist out. But like I said, the entertainment business is involved. The jeweler is involved. Okay, the creditor is involved. All of them is all involved. They all family. They all cousins. You know, they all business partners. You understand what I'm saying? So they all in the pocket. They don't have no money. They basically all have all these people that's in their pocket. So by the time they be like, oh, you know, can I get this? And they be like, no, we already paying this off. You know, we have to bring another contract. You know, you don't got no beef with nobody else. So now they over there in the other ear of the op. See, but this is what I'm saying. The police force is involved too. You know, they got the little hip hop police. So they all getting paid off of these individuals. They all in it. So now they send a little word to the, you know, to the DA that's in their pocket. Yeah, you know, Lil Woo Whoop is beefing with Whoop. And pretty soon they know everything. So I'm saying everybody is all in the pocket to you know, to destroy the community, but take them down at the same time. It's like putting these people, building weapons, putting them out there to, you know, like a ticking time bomb, to be out there to start havoc, because they be nobodies at first.
Wow. Right when you said that last part, Karima, I heard Biggie, you're nobody to somebody kills you. Damn.
Yeah, but let me play these few videos so you can see where I'm going with how, you know
Okay,
what I mean?
Rock it out.
How they try to set you up a little bit, make it seem like you're communicating with them and all this type of stuff, because they'll put you in danger too. You know, I remember watching this documentary. Well, it was First 48 Hours, and this guy, they was asking this guy a question. He was like, "I'm not about to tell y'all nothing. Y'all gonna be investigating my murder pretty soon." When they brought him in the station, and by the time he got back, people thought that he was snitching, so they unalived him, and they had his they was like, "Rest in peace, murder." They had his name on the wall. Now they was investigating him, but they put that boy in jeopardy to where now the streets think that he's a snitch, and they have to really in a documentary say that boy was not snitching. He was not snitching, but they put him in jeopardy and they got him killed. If y'all watch that episode, it's rest in peace, murder. And it was
Wow.
like a double homicide. Yeah, it was crazy. And the police will have you crossed up. I remember back in the days, they used to pick people up, you know, and they'll, you know, act like they about to take them to the station or whatever, but drive them around and then drop them off in another neighborhood where the op at, and then have them walk. But now the op think that he's snitching and just weird stuff. Cops would be on some weird stuff and get them killed in the neighborhood or whatever. So they be in it deep, you know. Most of these police departments, you look at them, they all getting taken down, you know, remodeled, eliminated.
Trust me, it's a tough pill to swallow. Your favorite rapper done sold us the dream that he was the biggest blood out of LA. He done sold us the dream. He was moving the most weight across the Atlantic. He done sold us the dream that he was pulling up in the A and he was doing this and doing that. They sold us a dream, and we are all waking up too hard to create a mystique or an image without being called fraudulent.
Cette vie-là, on a cherché.
I swear that these cops ain't learning. Most of my G's.
$1 million, nigga. Broke ass nigga. Shit make a nigga heart hurt, boy. That don't make these niggas happy. These niggas ain't happy on home. Step to me, fuck nigga. I would love to, nigga. I don't care. You see me, my wife, you can step to me. I'ma smoke you.
Respected news outlet out in Texas saying the FBI hasn't exactly heard from Gucci. Check this out.
Interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
If Gucci does not testify, the question of is Pooh cooked comes down to 2 paragraphs in the complaint plus 1 picture. I'll show them to you and walk you through it. What's very interesting about the picture is this is not like what you might imagine the recording studio looks like, with a couch, a bunch of buttons and boards, a glass plate, and then boom, the recording area directly in front of you. It looks like the recording area is somewhat off to the side, completely enclosed. It is not at all clear that anybody in the control room could actually see into the studio. And it's definitely clear that there could be people in parts of the control room who would not be able to see into the recording area at all. What does that mean? Well, we know the security guards were outside in the hallway. And we know that the only people who were in the control room were the business people. Gucci is inside the recording studio. Respected news outlet out in Texas saying,
At the end of the day, you just did prison time, fam. Gone for 5 years. You ain't been home 90 days, and you're right back in the feds. That tell me you missed somebody in there. No fucking way. I come home, drop a hit record, dry stitch on Boosie, then I try to rob Gucci, man. It don't make no fucking sense to me, y'all. Help me make a man that's talented as Pooh Shiesty is, man. I love bro music, man. I love his mom. She good people. I met her a couple years ago. But this shit ain't making sense to me, bro. You mad? You want to get out of your contract, whether it's by big scar chain? I don't know. But you want to rob? So the question is, did Gucci Mane do the right thing? I say he did. At the end of the day, whether he told or whether he didn't, whatever y'all want to think, whatever y'all want to hype y'all mind up to say he didn't, okay, cool. Niggas in jail. So somewhere down the line, he okayed what was going on. That's all the fuck I'm saying to y'all. He okayed. Y'all up in the big uproar about someone snitching and not snitching. I don't give a fuck if he told, if he didn't told. Them niggas is in jail. It's where they need to be at the end of the day. At the end of the motherfucker, Rob, you going to jail. I'm just being real. I'm not finna argue with you niggas. If I got jury here, I'll take it off and give it to you. I'm not worried about that shit. You can get jury back. You can get material shit back. You can't get a life back. So Gucci Mane did the right thing at the end of the day. Pooh Shiesty fucked up. Pooh Shiesty fucked up.
No.
A new update on this Pooh Shiesty and Gucci.
No. Like Gucci Mane, no Gucci. Or Coochie Man more. One from Gucci Mane to Coochie Man. When you talk all that yang, you talk about how gangster. See, the real Gucci though would have handled this differently. The clone Gucci, nah, he's Coochie Man for real. Go ahead, something dance to run it. Let's run the videos.
Gucci Mane situation, it was already bad for Gucci Mane, but it just got worse. And Gucci Mane is now in a situation that I don't think really gonna end well for Gucci. It's a lose-lose either way.
Suspects involved in the robbery and kidnapping of rapper Gucci Mane have been arrested. Officials say the alleged ringleader behind the attack was rapper Pooh Shiesty.
You see, Gucci Mane did what he did by identifying Pooh Shiesty to the police officers and to the feds and getting Pooh Shiesty this indictment. But after the update we just got, after it was announced, the feds don't really got too much on Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, or Big 30. They don't really got that much on them. And they admitted that. They are relying heavily on witnessed account of things.
A special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took the stand, and defense attorneys asked Hobbs a key question. Is there any hard evidence, like video surveillance, showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone? And Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested. But even so, the judge ruled there is still probable cause for both men and all defendants who appear today based on cell phone data, outside surveillance video, and victim statements that stand uncontested.
Gucci Mane is in a lose-lose situation. So if Gucci Mane doesn't...
I know go out think about that shit. I do that shit like, man, damn, man. I don't put these niggas on phone, made these niggas, not saying like, settle that little shit or whatever the fuck. I'm out of brr. But you know, shit, man, damn, that shit right there crazy, you know. That shit crazy. That shit fucked up. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, right? I'm my artists ever like don't say fucking with me and shit like that. They man, everybody's on a lifetime contract. Like man, bitch, ain't no termination, nigga. Fuck that. Yeah. You know why? Cause like people be getting tired of people around. Oh, we for lifers. Nah, fuck that. Ain't none of that shit for life. I show that. Sign this lifetime contract, homie. Sign this, homie. Sign this, homie. Cause now what, bro? Or what? Oh, dog, we will motherfucking niggas gonna stage a fall out. Oh, what we doing, bro? What we doing? Bitch, the same shit we doing. The same shit we been doing. Oh, fuck. I know go out think about it.
Gucci Mane, whether he's telling or his cameraman is telling, right? You know what the feds do? They're gonna subpoena Gucci Mane, whether his name is what, something Davis, right? Yes. I'm breaking it down for you. Okay. Once the feds subpoena you, you have to tell. You have to. If not, you go to jail for obstruction of justice.
So he'll go to jail if he doesn't tell.
So they're gonna tell. Yeah.
He has to.
So you have to. It's a subpoena by the federal government. I'm breaking this down for you. I know some people who hate it and like, no fuck, don't believe it, no. Oh my God. But bro, this is literally how the feds work. Yeah. It's not regular old person that lives in a fucking, it's literally the United States of America government. It says on your paperwork, you mean, whether he's...
I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Soft ass nigga. It's the only thing I believe in. I'ma smoke you. I don't believe in none of that shit.
Wow.
So y'all got Gucci Mane fucked up. So Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said he ain't cooperating with the government. Y'all got him fucked up. He said he ain't snitching on damn motherfucker.
Couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
Then Big 30 broke his phone, so they ain't got no video from the Big 30 phone that the complaint said that they had. So what do they got on these boys? I'm telling y'all, these boys might get out this jail, right? Does this mean Gucci want to keep it in the street? Could this shit get violent again? I don't know. But y'all heard it. Gucci ain't testified. So we gonna see how
You know what's going on with me? Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Soft ass nigga. It's the only thing I believe in. I'ma smoke you. You know what's going on with me?
Interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either.
For years now, it has been heavily debated online.
Hold on for a second, Seventh Answer. Hold on. But on Water Blue, if you don't know what Kodak said, what make you think we know what he said? Believe me, I had my magnifying glass trying to see if they had subtitles as he talked. But I don't know.
He said basically ain't no getting out of no contract. You sign a contract, you're not getting out of it. Period, point blank. And he's like,
okay,
yeah.
Well, okay. As you can see, Karima's Virgo was able to make sense of it. So there's your answer, bro. Because I ain't know what he was saying either. Go ahead, Seventh Answer.
He basically said, he was talking about his situation, and he said that, they trying to get out of the contract, and where he from, ain't no getting out of no contract. You sign a contract, you feel me? You're not getting out of the contract. It's for life. That's basically what he said.
Damn, you just said that. You said that. You had just said that. So he's saying what's signed in blood ain't no getting out.
Mm-hmm.
Blood in, blood out. Wow. All right. Go ahead, run the video, Seventh Answer.
Offset and Cardi B had a hand in the untimely demise of Takeoff, and once again that speculation is rising to the surface. Word on the street is that Quavo is finally speaking up, and he is allegedly making some shocking revelations about Cardi B and Offset being involved in the that took Takeoff out. For y'all that don't remember how it happened, the date was November 1st, 2022. It was reportedly just after midnight in Houston, Texas. What was supposed to be a quiet night out resulted in one of the most shocking losses in hip-hop. Takeoff-born Kershnik Karibal was out partying with Quavo at a private party inside a bowling alley called 810 Billiards and Bowling. By all accounts, Takeoff was keeping to himself, being the calm individual that he was always known for. But as the night went on, an argument broke out near the entrance of 810. Onlookers say that it was over a dice game involving Quavo and some other men. In a matter of minutes, the argument reportedly spiraled out of control. Voices were raised, the tension in the air thickened, and in that moment, shots rang out and Takeoff caught a bullet. Ever since, fans and online spectators noticed an unusual boost in Offset and Quavo's career, with Cardi B included, who was at the time dating Offset. This led people to conclude that Takeoff was sacrificed for the cause. Another factor that added more layers of suspicion was when Quavo and Offset split up right after Takeoff's demise. Rumor had it that Offset was heavily pushing for a solo career right around the time. However, because of the Migos contract, he was unable to leave the record label. quality control, which they were signed to. According to reports from sources, Migos' contract named QC as owner to the rights of whatever song they released as a group and as an individual. In addition to that, 50% of their net advances also went to QC. Rumor has it that when Offset realized the ramifications of the contracts, that's when he started looking for a way out. This included paying millions of dollars to the record label to try to buy himself out of the deal. But sources claim that when that didn't work out, he resorted to more drastic measures that allegedly included putting Takeoff's life on the line. Although this claim remains heavily disputed, but word on the streets is that Offset and Cardi, quote unquote, sacrificed Takeoff so they could get ahead in their career. Offset's comments at that time didn't make the speculations any harder to believe after he took to his public profile and wrote, "I feel like every group member has to establish themselves, their own body of work. If not, you start losing members." But what exactly did he mean by that? Was he simply talking about each member losing their artistic touch, losing the mental game necessary to stay in the spotlight? Or did he mean losing members as in the literal sense of the afterlife? It's hard to speculate right now, but reports claim that Cardi B was in total support of Offset's decision to go solo, and according to word reaching us, she fueled that desire and provided him with a way out that would benefit both of them, allegedly. Now, this is not to say that Cardi or Offset put a hit out on Takeoff. Instead, tabloids and other sources use the word sacrificed. Mind you, this isn't the first time that word has come up in Hollywood. Over the years, there have been claims of a higher power working behind the scenes, a power so obscene and absolute that a lot of celebrities seek it out to get a rise in their careers and keep that check flowing in. Rumor has it that it is in this same way that Offset put Takeoff on the line, just so he could get ahead in the industry. Sources claim that this made up for the global success and recognition that Offset started to get right after Takeoff's demise. And when we say right after, we mean just a few weeks after, because Offset wasted no time separating from their record label, QC, and putting out his first solo album. Around the same time, Quavo and Offset started beefing with each other heavy, although sources claim that both of them beefing occasionally wasn't new, and it happened even when Takeoff was still alive. Basically, Takeoff's part in the group was like a glue that kept everybody together. But as soon as he was gone, the rift between Offset and Quavo grew miles apart. To add fuel to fire, there were rumors going around that Offset had been involved with Quavo's then girlfriend, Saweetie. However, rumor has it that it was more than that. Fast forward to the 2023 Grammys, and sources claim that both friends turned enemies got into a fight backstage because Quavo blocked Offset from joining his tribute performance for Takeoff.
Both of y'all wrong. Both of y'all. This is not right.
The question on everybody's lips back then was why? Regardless of whatever animosity, why would Quavo stop Offset from joining him in a tribute song to their teammate on stage? Unless there was something more sinister that happened behind the scenes. On the outside looking in, what many believe was the stroke that broke the camel's back for good was shifting blames. Allegedly, Offset blamed Quavo for Takeoff's demise because it was both of them that was out at 810 Billiards when the shooting happened. So he believed Quavo wasn't looking out for Takeoff like he should. Mind you, in the same light, sources claim that Quavo blamed Offset for being absent and possibly knew about the hit. While that is widely suggestive, who knows if his presence at the scenes could have changed the course of fate.
Wow. Just wow. Bottom line is, these demons have to be fed, and this YN culture got to be broken. That's the bottom line. Blood, all these, see, to all our young folks out there listening on the West Coast, I know it's still early, as you can see, what we're showing on tonight's segment is what? Making the devil your friend. It's not a wise thing. All this gangster, it comes with consequences in reality. When you get past all the flash and dash. Death is not a good, okay, bringing about somebody's untimely demise. Keeping it real. Will you lose your humanity and sacrifice your humanity to go out here and be on some tough guy, gangster image? It comes back to bite you in your behind. It's just that simple. Okay? Do we got time for one more story? Seventh Answers. We're coming up on our about third. We're 20 minutes away from our final our final hour, you know, because this path you took us on was deep. So let's run one more video. We'll analyze it, break it down, and we're gonna call it another successful show and night. You know, because for my East Coast riders riding with me out here at 1 o'clock in the morning. Thank you. Hoo. Go ahead, Seventh Answer.
April 20th, 2025, in Birmingham, Alabama. A 27-year-old man and his girlfriend were celebrating Easter and their daughter's 7th birthday, a day that by all accounts had been nothing short of beautiful. But before the night was over, an argument between the two escalated into something nobody at that celebration anticipated. McKees Bostic ended up trapped between a vehicle and the wall of a house after she intentionally drove into him.
A deadly act of rage between a mother and father unfolded with their children possibly in the back seat. Investigators found 27-year-old McKees James Bostic pinned between a vehicle and a house where a birthday party and Easter celebration had taken place.
There's a large commotion. Family members were visibly upset because their loved one was just hit, and officers could not get the scene under control with East Precinct officers.
Under Alabama law, this deadly incident could mean serious charges if intent is determined.
Because those kids were there, this can now be a capital murder case. Because anytime in Alabama when there's a child that the couple shares in common that's under the age of 14, you now could be looking at capital murder.
When she walked into a courtroom days later, there was no remorse. Instead, she was smiling, laughing, and whispering words to people across the courtroom. There is a lot to this story, and the more you hear, the more unsettling it gets. Before we get too deep, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you find value in these discussions. James Bostic was 27 years old and grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. He graduated from Woodlawn High School and went straight to work for Jefferson County. By the time he was 27, he had been serving as an officer at the Jefferson County Family Court and Youth Detention Center for years. McKees had a special connection with those kids. He was young enough to still relate to them, but mature enough to hold them accountable. His family described him as energetic, honest, and loving. His coworkers said no one was exempted from being on the receiving end of his jokes, and that he always found a way to make you laugh, no matter what kind of day you were having.
Tell them what's poppin', see. With you. So you say.
The people closest to him knew him by his nickname, Keese. On his social media page, he described himself as a comedian, and from everything people said about him, that fit perfectly.
You know, a long time ago, they said there's a few good men left. He was one of them. He was going to provide for his family. He's going to do the things that he needs to do for his family.
She would do him so cruelly. It's so wrong. It's not fair. It's not right, but he's a good person. He's truly going to be missed.
Outside of work, McKees loved being around people. Outings, parties, gatherings. He was the kind of man who did not just attend the function, he was the function. Now, McKees also had a twin brother, Mike Bostic. The two of them had grown up together and navigated life together. They were as close as two people could be. McKees had 3 biological children of his own, and he had fully stepped into the role of a father figure for 2 additional children who were not biologically his. Children who belonged to his longtime girlfriend, Shatise Jackson. Shatise Renee Jackson was 30 years old, 3 years older than McKees. Originally from Fairfax, Virginia, she had been living in Birmingham, Alabama, where the 2 of them had built a life together. She was a mother of 5, 2 children from a prior relationship before McKees came into the picture, and 3 children they shared together. Her social media account was largely filled with photos and videos of herself, solo content, her own image, her own world. But McKees's page was full of her, photos of the 2 of them together, videos from trips, birthday tributes, anniversary posts, daily moments. He called her his wife, not in a legal sense, but in the way that mattered to him. That was the woman he was building with and doing everything for. The feeling did not always appear to go both ways, at least not publicly. The rare times Shatise posted about McKees were occasions like anniversaries. Now, people express love differently. Some are private, others are not. But when you look at the full picture of what was documented between these 2, there seemed to be an imbalance in how each of them carried the relationship publicly. They had been together for a long time, long enough to build a blended family of 5 children and to accumulate years of shared history. On November 9th, 2018, McKees wrote about how lucky he felt to have someone like her in his life. This was not a one-time thing, but was a pattern that continued for years. On Mother's Day in May 2023, he took to Facebook again to celebrate her. He thanked her, not just for being a mother, but for being dependable, reliable, strong, caring, and supportive. Whatever was or was not being expressed publicly, McKees kept showing up and kept providing. In November 2024, he took Shatise to Jamaica for her 30th birthday. He posted about it, writing that she wanted to be in Jamaica for her big 30th, so he made it happen. On Valentine's Day in 2025, Shatise posted, "Best Valentine's Day gift ever. This man moved us into a bigger and better house. 5 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, basically 2 living rooms. Upstairs, downstairs, a huge backyard. I couldn't ask for anything better. I don't even want nothing else today. This was more than enough. Thank you, Daddy. We love you with everything in us. I have some making up to do."
Somebody here. Yeah.
Ma, you gotta do his birthday here too. Yeah, I'm in the mother game. Oh, I like the Show you.
What a man.
Oh my God. I like these.
That girl funny.
Thank you.
Give me a kiss. Thank you.
Today I'm going to make a beat. We're going to Output's new plugin.
Now, on the surface, this looked like a couple doing life together. Trips, a new house, children, anniversary posts. But family members who were close to McKees described a more complicated picture. There were moments on social media that hinted at something beneath the surface. In August 2023, Shatise had posted, "I enjoy being single. I can move how I want to." But the thing is, she was not single. She was with McKees. So what was that about? Was it frustration in the moment? Was something going on between them at that time? In November 2024, she reposted this. "I love a guy that still loves me after I acted a fool." In April 2025, her posts became more direct. On April 16th, Shatise reposted something that read, "The ugliest trait about a Scorpio is their anger, and it's crazy because they're so laid back. Scorpios really are calm people. They don't even be doing all that. Scorpios just hate feeling disrespected or played. It turns them into a whole different person. They react first and think later." The next day, April 17th, she reposted again. "Scorpios can't unsee anything. Once you make a Scorpio look at you different, they'll never look at you the same again. Scorpios will forgive you, but they'll always feel like they gotta watch or limit how they show you love, because Scorpios put their trust in you, and then you blew it. Now you got the dangerous side of a Scorpio, and that's not a place you want to be with them. And then on April 18th, she reposted one more time. The Scorpio in me will tweak out in a minute. Then she added, man, I can't help it. April 20th, 2025, Easter Sunday. McKees had been planning this day for weeks. He had even reached out to his cousin days before the party, inviting them to come through to the house on April 20th. He mentioned the pool, the Easter egg hunt, telling them to slide through so they could make some new memories. The celebration was held in the 700 block of Lisa Lane in the Roebuck Springs area of Birmingham. He had gone all out, because he always did. It was not just Easter they were celebrating. April 21st was his youngest daughter's 7th birthday, so this was a joint celebration, one day early, combining Easter and her birthday into one big day. For most of the afternoon, things were exactly what they were supposed to be. Family around, children playing, food on the grill, music and laughter. But around the evening hours, an argument reportedly broke out between Shatisse and McKees's family members. According to reports, McKees initially held Shatisse down in an attempt to calm her during that argument. Birmingham police were called to the residence. They responded, assessed the situation, determined that nothing criminal had taken place, and made no arrests. Minutes after police cleared the scene, Shatisse Jackson returned to the house on Lisa Lane, and this time, she came back with a firearm. Another argument broke out outside the residence. The entire confrontation, from the moment she returned to the moment it ended, happened outside and remained outside. As she moved toward her SUV to leave, McKees's family followed her. That's when she fired a shot into the air, reportedly in response to them following her. Then she got into her SUV with four of her children inside the vehicle. Prosecutors stated that she tried to hit McKees Bostic, not once, but twice. When she missed the first attempt, she turned the wheel again and drove into him. McKees Bostic ended up pinned between the SUV and his neighbor's house. Birmingham Fire and Rescue responded. Officers from all 4 precincts went to Lisa Lane after a Max officer emergency was called over the radio, because the scene was so chaotic that the East Precinct officers alone could not bring it under control. More than 25 units responded. When officers arrived, McKees's family had Shatisse pinned on the ground, yelling that she had run him over. Detectives determined that there was no evidence of the brakes being applied. McKees James Bostic was pronounced gone. The same day everything happened, Shatisse Jackson posted, "I don't feel bad at all." Shatisse Jackson was placed on a 48-hour felony hold and booked into the Birmingham City Jail. On April 21st, 2025, Birmingham Police Department homicide detectives presented the case to the Jefferson County Magistrate's Office, and a capital charge warrant was issued for Shatisse Jackson. Given that the kids were in the car when the incident occurred, she was transferred to the Jefferson County Jail with no bond. The Birmingham Police Department confirmed the arrest publicly on April 23, 2025, posting that BPD detectives had obtained a warrant in the McKees Bostic homicide investigation. They confirmed that McKees lost his life on Sunday, April 20th, 2025, in the 700 block of Lisa Lane, and that witnesses reported that Shatisse got into her vehicle and ran over McKees, causing the vehicle to collide with him and his neighbor's house. This became Birmingham's 25th homicide investigation of 2025.
So, seventh answer. Was he cheating on her and she found out about it? Is that what happened? Because given the tweets that she was putting forth, it definitely sounded like something went amiss in their relationship.
No, it's just she was crazy, bipolar, in and out of her own little thoughts, because she, she just breaking up, making up. Just, I don't know. She seemed like she was jealous, and the argument she said that she was arguing with a family member and then came back tripping with him. So she looks sounding like she's jealous and insecure and overprotective. Don't want him
Okay.
to care, don't want him to do anything. You know, he seemed like an outgoing. He seemed like he.
Yeah. Okay. Your assessment is right on the money. She definitely was possessive. You know, I've dealt with a Scorpio, so I kind of relate. But oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen. We're now coming down to the last 10 minutes of this presentation. And yeah, okay, Ezekiel Blue, maybe
We got one more.
Karima, I said, hold on, Karima, maybe you do got a career in mumble rapology and how to interpret what they say. Ezekiel Blue, you funny. But you got one more, you said? Okay, let's drop it then, Seventh Dance. Let's give it to the people. Let's give it to them. Are you not gonna run it? Okay, hold on. We're gonna well, maybe some technical difficulty. Oh, here we go.
Cleveland Police Department received reports of several gunshots near Highland Hills. Responding officers rushed to the scene, which, unbeknownst to them, slowly unfolded into one of the most tragic cases the city had ever seen. The victim of the shooting, Sanaya Nicholson, who was tragically only 9 years old, had been shot in the head while sitting in the back of her mother's car. While EMS also arrived on site, the severity of the circumstances left little room for help. Sanaya Nicholson was rushed to the hospital. However, the injuries proved too severe, and she was pronounced dead that same evening at only 9 years of age. At the scene of the shooting, officers cleared the site and began asking witnesses about the exact sequence of events, trying to understand what led to the brutal killing. What investigators quickly learned was that, shockingly, multiple people were involved in the shooting. And as more evidence was uncovered, officers arrested multiple suspects, including 17-year-old Bruin Harrison and 18-year-old Aaron George, who were brought to the Cleveland Police Department for questioning.
Last week, a 9-year-old girl got killed in our city. And we know that you were involved. We're sort of giving you this opportunity now to sort of come clean, tell us what the motivation was, how you found yourself in that predicament.
Me personally, there's no explaining for me, because my intent wasn't, you feel me, like anything that went on. Now, how I find myself, you feel me, wherever, whenever, it's just because, like,
on June 20th, what are you doing?
What was June 20th?
To Wednesday.
Wednesday.
What time? Probably at work.
Were you with CJ that day? And then
June
other
20th?
two guys? Yeah.
I think so.
In car.
In a car? I do remember getting in the car.
Aaron George went through the timeline of the day of the shooting, explaining that in the early afternoon, he was picked up by his friend CJ and someone called Devontae, who brought his brother Bruin along. Two people Aaron didn't really know at that time.
You know what time of day it is at this time?
Like early, I think probably like 12.
Oh, it's like early afternoon?
Yeah. Because we was with each other for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Where do you guys go from there?
I mean, we went a couple places, you feel me? Like down the way, King Kenny, we kept on going to the gas station, back and forth to the gas station. We could be walking. I went up there to the court. We hooped in the K. It's a court back there. And then around about like, I want to say like what? Probably not even that late. Probably like 3, 4-ish. We start riding back out. You feel me? Riding back around.
Okay. And where do you go?
We was trying to go to Lorraine. You feel me? But ain't nobody had no gas money. So long story short, we get to ride around. We rode around and we stopped. Like the car shut off on it. Didn't nobody in the car have no more money. You feel me? We had spent it up on weed and miles and shells and stuff. We stopped and the car stopped on Lee and Harvard.
Right as the group arrived at a gas station, they got into an argument, primarily because they had run out of gas and nobody had any money to buy fuel. The group split up as CJ and the driver, Devontae, went to get some money, leaving both Aaron and Bruin alone, which led to another argument because Aaron didn't want to be left alone with someone he considered a stranger.
I get mad at two people. CJ left me to hang with somebody I didn't even know. You feel me? But CJ being CJ, if he your brother, he my brother, you feel me? Because I rock with you.
You should take care of you.
Exactly. We should be rocking with each other. So basically, I'm up there at the gas station, and they just said, like, yeah, we finna go and get some money, you feel me, from around the corner at my sister's house. It was just us two. I'm like, bro, I'm just about to stand up here and beg for change.
Us two being, who's the other person?
The dude I didn't know. He was like, bro, we could just walk around and do that. I'm like, all right, bet.
Space 44 super agents. The next.
And Bruin, who had both become increasingly impatient, started going around the street asking strangers for money to get the car running again. During that time, they coincidentally ran into CJ and Devontae, who had just returned with not only no money for fuel, but also even more trouble.
And then out of nowhere, like, they saw me. They mad, so I get mad because CJ mad. You feel me? I'm thinking like he just got beat up. You feel me?
Is that what he said or what?
No, he didn't. He just came back like, bro, you feel me? You feel me? Like he just going off. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, what just happened? Hold on. What just happened? So he talking about, yeah, playing crazy, da 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 da. So I'm like, bro, I'm about to call my dad. They said you don't have no phone. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm about to walk with y'all until I find a phone so I can call my dad, and I'm about to leave. They like, bro, you ain't gonna ride with me? What you mean you ain't gonna ride with me? They basically saying like, is you gonna fight with me? And I just said, where they at? Where they at? You feel me? Like,
Aaron claims that although he initially intended to go back home, the group coerced him to stay and look for the other group with whom CJ and the driver had gotten into an argument earlier.
So we get to walk around again. Then we went to, I remember going to the Taco Bell with the dark skinned dude. Then we walk back down the street. And dudes just get to looking. Dudes just on the corner of the street. And I'm walking up, I'm looking at them looking at us, you feel me? So I'm like, bro, who is these? Is these the dudes that you got problem with? They looking at me, like, or they looking at us suspicious, you feel me? Like, I'm thinking they about to get the shoe and they can do whatever.
As Aaron, Bruin, CJ, and Devontae, the driver, walked back toward the gas station, they ran into the group with whom they earlier had an altercation, which in turn unfolded into another argument. Interestingly, investigators later learned that around this time in the interrogation, Aaron started to leave out crucial details, such as that before the confrontation, they had been kicked out of a Taco Bell by security, where they had seen some members of the other group inside the restaurant.
So the dude I didn't know, he pulled something out, you feel me? Like, bro, we ain't worried about that. That's when I noticed, you feel me? That's when I noticed CJ had a gun. So I'm like, bro, I've been with you before we even got with these people. Why wouldn't you tell me you had a gun, bro? I just got out of jail. You feel me? Like, I got a job. If I get caught with you, they already know what's up with me because I went down for aggravated robbery. They not playing with that. So he get to talking about, oh yeah, you a bitch, da-da-da, you already know this type of life I get into and all this other shit. We get into that little argument like that. So now they see, the dudes at the corner see me and CJ like we're going back and forth, like we about to fight. So they get to laughing. So I turn back around. I'm like, bro, CJ, bro, you feel me? Come on, you feel me? And there's a lot of people out here. It's daylight. I'm basically just telling him like, but don't try to shoot him. You feel me? So he was like, all right, bet, come on. So everybody listening. So long story short, I got $2 in my pocket. I put the $2 in the gas can that he had, like a spare gas can he had in the truck. So I put the $2 in the gas pump, and then I put the gas in there and I got in. Now the dudes was standing right there. He's still mad, but I know CJ, I can calm him down sometimes, you feel me? So I'm like, bro, you feel me? We out, you feel me? I'm about to go wake my dad up. We about to go get some more, you feel me? Like some orange bed. But pull this way. So I'm like, bro, they down there. The dude ain't even listen to me. Okay. The dude that was driving didn't even listen to me.
Is it the same guy that was driving?
That was the same exact one. The dude didn't even listen to me. So that's when everything just started, you feel me, clicking to my mom. But your brother got a gun. If I try to stop you from pulling over here, what to say that he not gonna shoot me? Okay. I don't know these people. Only my life was in CJ hands for real.
Okay, go ahead.
So we pulled out the gas station and he just got to fire me.
At approximately 7:15 p.m., the driver, Devontae, followed CJ's instructions and drove onto Lee Road, heading in the same direction where, minutes earlier, they had the confrontation with the other group.
My brother was like, what the fuck you doing? I was driving. What you mean?
So your brother didn't even know what was going on either.
It just happened so fast.
Although both Aaron and Bruin claimed that this in itself was an unexpected maneuver, investigators concluded that the group directly provoked an escalation by first searching for the other group and, upon finding them, getting into another argument, flashing their weapons and leaving, but only for a moment before eventually seeking revenge.
Did he say anything before he shot?
Not to me. I don't even think he said anything to nobody in the car. Only thing I remember is ducking down. The bullet almost went towards my head.
How many times did he shoot? Do you know?
I don't know. After two shots, I'm like, but stop! I did like this through the back. My fault. I did like this through the back seat, bro. And that was it. It's like I felt the wind from the shot coming at me, and then when I looked over, the window that got busted out. It's a bullet right here. It went past, and I just ducked down. The only time I said something to them after that, I'm like, bro, call my dad, bro. I probably been shot. My adrenaline running.
Detectives concluded that although Bruin also carried a weapon, CJ was the only person in the car who fired at the other group. As the car rolled up on them, more than 24 shots were fired between the groups, with one stray bullet hitting a car parked down the street in front of a gym, where 9-year-old Sanaya Nicholson was inside, waiting for her older brother to be picked up from boxing practice by her mother. In the midst of this, the stray bullet tragically struck Sanaya in the head. At just 9 years of age, she lost her life as a result of the unfortunate circumstances.
So then after that, what did you guys do?
I left. I told them, I'm like, bro, I'm going to Garfield, bro. Drop me off.
Okay, so they drop you off.
But they don't drop me off at the house. Yeah, they don't drop me off at my house. They drop me off on Wood Hill, 79th.
Contrary to Aaron's claims that he was simply dropped off, security camera footage captured the group approximately 15 minutes after the shooting, driving up to Holton Avenue, where they agreed to get rid of the car.
Whose idea is it to go to Holton and get rid of the car? CJ's idea. So all four of you guys, your brother, CJ, you, and this other guy, roll down to Holton.
50 minutes later, they were caught again on camera, arriving on the same street, but this time in a different car, to dispose of more evidence.
Serious dictation was driving me crazy. So
And then about a 9-year-old girl, bro.
You see it on the news, didn't you?
I didn't see nothing. That's why I'm trying to tell you.
You've been all over the news, all over the media, social
media. I got an Instagram. I never once seen nothing about no 9-year-old girl. Listen, sir. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I really don't know how to feel right now, man. I know my life could be over with. You could be the last person I'm looking at on the outside. Me knowing what I came here for, I already know what I was gonna have to do. I already knew what I was gonna have to tell y'all.
You definitely already knew what you was about to tell him. You manipulating ass nigga. You like he's a little
I know.
Yeah, he's a con artist. Yeah, and then don't trust the other little one twisting on his head.
Yeah.
You know he's crash dummies. Don't care about anything. Broke crash dummies. And then he contradicted himself because he said, "Yeah, I was gonna put the $2 in the thing and just drive to my dad's house and all this." And now he's driving.
I know it don't make no sense at all. Wow.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Shooting
I don't know what to say.
Just shooting willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Because you with people you don't hang around, but then you got comfortable enough to go panhandle with this dude. It's just all kinds of weird stuff going on. You know?
I'm listening.
Guys acting like you don't know that this little girl got unalived by y'all stupidity, you know? Is it about the little girl? Yeah, you already knew that. You just...
Seventh answer, I don't know what to say at this point. This is just, like I said. You want to finish the video out, or is it done?
Yeah, it's about to be finished out.
All right.
But I already know ain't nobody gonna spare me though. It's just I'm gonna go down as another statistic. A dude that ain't the wrong place, wrong time.
You're looking for me to tell you something.
No, not about
good.
I mean,
and it ain't good for you right now. But what you've done has been good. Because we're not changing that charge. That's what you're going to be charged with. Is that charge? Could that charge be changed or amended? They can be if what you say is true and how things played out.
Right. That's all I want to know. That could be my last question. Like, even if what I do say is true, like what you think gonna happen? I could still get life. My life is over, man. At 18.
Wow.
I would rather die, bro. I would rather die than to spend my life in prison.
Wow.
Children shot dead in our city. These horrific tragedies leave us empty. Life seems meaningless to those left behind. 9-year-old Sanaya Nicholson was the latest killed in the backseat of her mother's car. News 5's Amanda Van Allen was there moments after the little girl was killed. She spoke with Sanaya's father last night and today talked with her heartbroken mother.
During the court proceedings, all 7 suspects arrested in connection with the shooting were initially indicted on multiple charges, including aggravated murder, attempted murder, felonious assault, and other related counts. Many of those charges were later dropped when it was revealed that the bullet fired by C. Matizia Andrews, or CJ, directly resulted in the death of Sanaya Nicholson. As a result, Aaron, Bruin, and Devontae pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence and are still awaiting sentencing. Dyshawn Bonner, Damaris Perry, and Timothy Green, the individuals from the other group, pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter for their involvement in the shooting. They were sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Losing years of my life,
Damn.
but I can't give them back to Sanaya. If I could, I would. I'm sorry. Truly sorry. If I can bring it back, I would.
Years blaming myself for not dying in the car.
Yeah, sorry. I got cold.
They didn't just kill her, they killed the other two as well. These two are no longer the same children that they were. I'm not the same mother that I was.
Seema Teaser Andrews, who was initially charged with murder, reached a plea deal that dismissed the murder and attempted murder counts. In September 2020, Seema Teaser Andrews was sentenced to a total of 22 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and attempted felonious assault for his role in the death of Sanaya Nicholson.
All right. Wow. And so, yeah, this YN culture, this whole fast, we got to bring it to an end. So as we close out, we want to thank you for allowing us to come in. Wait. Go ahead, Seventh Answer. Go ahead.
Know the outcome of this situation. But the thing of the matter is, you know, even though I'm playing out the outcome of the situation, what's going to happen to them when they end up in this situation, either, you know, unaliving their op or innocent bystander, they're going to end up in this situation regardless of the fact. But this is where I'm at with. They're building these prisons and putting these people are wanting to go to prison because their homeboys are in there. I mean, the streets are in prison now. Okay, they making it to where they would rather be in prison than on the streets because the whole squad is together. So what they need to start doing is eliminating these gangs that's inside prison and stop putting them together, like really classifying them to be you know, another charge if they come in contact, which they probably don't give to. If they come in contact with someone that's, you know, part of the gang or part of, you know, their street, you know, gang or whatever, I think they need to do more about, because sending them to prison is not even really working no more because they're letting them out real quick. And not only that, they're giving them this lengthy sentence, but they're adapting to other crimes when they get out and they're letting them out still. And they don't mind going back. Like they literally don't mind going back to prison because the streets are in there. Their homies.
Okay. And that's a very realistic but morbid examination that you just laid out.
And they husband.
Here they are institutionalized without being institutionalized. Wow.
And they husbands, husband wives, because a lot of them be going back for their little, you know, prison relationships too. But like I said, streets.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we have another powerful truthality listening experience in the books. Water Blue Ezekiel, Salaya Benya. Said too many dumb details. Okay. I thank you for y'all. We got Tawana Johnson and all those listening. As we close out, we thank y'all for your participation in your commentary and conversation. We want you to hit that like and subscribe. Seventh Answer, you have any parting shots? Yeah. So hit that like and subscribe button.
Yes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Share the information to your friend, your platform, or whatever. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. So, in closing, this has been another episode of The Lion's Den, talking about what's on your mind as the conversation continues. And for those of you listening to this in rebroadcast, hey, I'm so sorry that you missed the live. Some of y'all wonder why we going so late. But look, I'm gonna say, look, for me, the night hours, it works for me. It just works for me. And for all my night owls here, up there on your job, wherever you might be listening to us at, thank you for allowing us to come in your mind, soul, and cipher. For those of you who are comfortable at home and you're enjoying this broadcast, albeit this was a very somber discussion we had, but it need to be had. We thank you again for allowing us to come into your homes, and above all, thank you for trusting us to always bring you these much needed conversations. And we'll be right back at you. Know that it's up to you at the start and end of every day, however, not to take our word for anything that we give you. We want you to get up off your duff and examine and check things out for yourself, irregardless. And so, on behalf of the Seventh Answer and I, your brother in faith, Dark Storm, we say to all you out there who are practicing Israelites, Ashar Shabbat, which means Ashar Pesach, happy Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread, as we are now in our 6th day, come into our 6th day of celebration. We thank you again for allowing us to be a part of your family and extensions of, all things intellectual. And so, with that being said, as always, we give an honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And in the spirit of our brother once known as Don Cornelius, we say Shalom, peace, Ahab, love, and Napash, soul. And we are up out of here. And much love to the third answer, once known in life as James Mtume.
When it is handed over to one who can read, he says, I cannot read this, for it is sealed. And then it is handed over to one who cannot read, and he says, read this, please. And of 29, 11, 12 continue. And the vision of all this has become to you like the words of a book that is sealed. When it is handed over to one who knows the writing, he says, I cannot read this, for it is sealed. The passage continues in verse 13. And the Lord said, because this people draw near with their mouth and honor me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me, and their fear of me is a commandment taught by men. The passage continues in verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will again do marvelous things with this people, wonderful and marvelous. And the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the discernment of their discerning men shall be hidden. And then in verse 15, woe to those who deeply hide their plans from the Lord, and whose deeds are in darkness, and they say, who sees us or who knows us? Therefore, behold, I will again do marvelous things with this people, wonderful and marvelous, and the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the discernment of their discerning men shall be hidden. Woe to those who deeply hide their plans from the Lord, and whose deeds are in darkness, and they say, who sees us or who knows us? Is your plan to be counted as potter's clay, as if a thing made should say about its maker, he did not make me, or the thing formed say of its form, he has no understanding. Is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be regarded as a forest? And in that day the deaf shall hear the words of a book, and out of their gloom and darkness the eyes of the blind shall see. The afflicted also shall increase their joy in the Lord, and the needy shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the ruthless man shall come to naught, and the scoffer shall cease, and all who watch for iniquity shall be cut off, who cause a person to lose his case with a mere word, and lay a snare for him who upbraids in the gates without justification or right, and make a hollow mockery of the rights of the just and upright man. Therefore, thus says the Lord who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now turn pale. For when he sees his children, the work of my hands in his midst, they shall sanctify my name. Yeah. They shall sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and reverently fear the God of Israel. Those who err in spirit shall gain understanding, and those who complain shall accept